Yo. I said, yo. It's the Bottom Line Evening Show. Hey, for those that don't know that shout out to Tom Joyner.
Jesus, we're
Uh,
we're both too old for that to be a reference. Jesus.
if you don't know about Tom Joyner, man, learn your Black history. But as you see, it is me and Lo holding it down today for the Bottom Line episode. Mars will hopefully be back next episode. Mars, I hope we'll be back. But instead of just not having yet another episode, right? Because we haven't done one of these in quite some time. I said, you know what? What can we do to still, provide some great content? And this week, uh, me and Lo had a little bit of a back and forth per se. You know what I'm saying? We had a little discussion about the 65 game rule. So I figured, I said, you know what? Hit up Lo. Let me see if he's willing to, get cooked on this topic 1v1.
Okay.
So that is what we're going to do today.
So cool.
We're going to talk about the 65 game rule and if that is, bad for the NBA and whatnot. But of course, welcome our esteemed guest, Legend of Winning. Lo, how are you doing this
I'm
evening
doing
or this afternoon? Excuse me.
I'm doing fantastic, man. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me on this fine establishment of a show, man. Thank you for having me.
No problem, no problem, no problem. Oh, it's Nooski birthday. Happy birthday to you, Nooski.
Happy
Um,
birthday. Happy birthday.
Also to Saucy, Maria is covering a Memphis game. But she's definitely still a part of the show as well, but she's just covering a Memphis game. So she'll be back on the next episode as well. But let's get into it, man. The 65 game rule. What exactly bothers you about this rule and this concept?
I like the original plan of it made sense, and I'm not even saying like I was like I wasn't for it when it first like proposed it, but as time progressed and there's like more evidence of like what this looks like, I just feel like it's not thought out as much as we may have thought it originally was. And I think there's a threshold of how many games a player can miss before we start saying that like the 20th best player in the league is better than like Jokic or is more deserving of Jokic.
So it was Jokic for you that got you to this point.
I made no.
I mean, I'm just listening to you.
I made a video about this week, maybe even 3 weeks before Jokic got injured. So I've been on this. I'm just a little bit more intelligent than most. That's all.
A little bit more intelligent than most. So you're some. Why don't you? Let me start off like this. Why don't you value um, all NBA teams? Right. What is it about that you don't value?
Because they're silly. They're silly. They're nonsensical. Over the course of NBA history, it's been evidence and proven that that shouldn't be the way in which we measure teams, just because there's so many different factors that come into who makes a team and who doesn't make the team, instead of just who's the better player. That's the problem.
Right, but you've also said that you don't like the fact that there isn't really a criteria for any of these awards. You know what I'm saying? Um,
There's not, but I think that a 65, like playing 65 games, is not only a semi arbitrary number, but I do think there's a threshold.
did he freeze just for me, or am I frozen?
Was that a me thing?
Yeah, that was you because you're back now.
Oh, what would I say? Yeah, I think there's only a certain amount of games in which somebody can miss before we can start having conversations about if they're more valuable than somebody else or they are more deserving of it.
So okay, So you don't care about the All NBA teams, but you care enough about them to get the people that you want on them on them.
The people who are deserving, yes, on them, yes.
Well, deserving is subjective.
Yeah, yes, you're right. And I think that should be left up
So
to the people though.
deserving could mean, well, if I don't think you played enough games, I don't think you deserve to be on the All NBA team.
So what does all NBA mean to you?
What does All NBA mean to me? All National Basketball Association. So they have a first team, they have a second team, and they have a third team. So that's what it means to me. There's going to be 5 people per team, so 15 people in total.
Okay. All NBA to mean all NBA to me means is just like, brother, it should be in theory the best 15 players in the NBA that season. That in theory, that's what it should be. And prior to it, it should have been the 3 best centers, the 6 best forwards, and the 6 best guards in the NBA that season. That's what at least I believe it should represent to me. That's what it should represent. And I think that I do love the fact that we don't have positions anymore because I think we should get a true indicator of what it means to be the 15 best players in the NBA.
Okay.
And I do think though that there is I think there's just a threshold. There is a threshold of how many games someone can miss before we start claiming that the 20th best player in the NBA is more impactful or more valuable than that person.
What is the threshold?
It's up to you. It is up to you.
Okay, and so
I don't
what?
think
I don't. But why is it then a problem if you're acknowledging there's a threshold instead of putting that in a voter's hands? The league was like, you know what? Let's just make it 65. Now, maybe 65 is the wrong number, but what's wrong with a number if we're also acknowledging that yes, there is a threshold that even the better player still has to cross as far as the games played.
but it's the reason why I say it's subjective to who the player is. So, like for example, if Denny Avdia makes an All NBA team, but like Jokic or Giannis doesn't, because Jokic or Giannis only played 60 games and Denny played 70, that 10-game threshold is not enough for me to then believe that Denny is just a better, more impactful player because he played 10 more games. It's just not. Like it's just not. That is not a wide enough threshold.
Say the games again. Games played. How many did you say?
60 for Jokic and 70 for Denny. That's
Mm-hmm.
not a wide enough threshold. And I mean, so now I'm gonna ask you, do you think those 10 games is enough to claim that that Denny is better than Jokic or more impactful than Jokic over the course of a year?
No.
Okay. All
No,
right.
I wouldn't. But I also still don't. I don't have a problem with Denny receiving a seasonal award over a Nikola Jokic or a Giannis if they play. I think now I do think that I've said this in my video as well. I think 60 is a good number, right? But let's say if it's like Denny's played 70 games and Giannis ends up playing 55 or less, I think then we start having a discussion like, okay, does Giannis deserve an award for a season in which he misses 35% of the season? Like that.
I agree at that point, then we can have some dialogue on like, all right, you're missing like a third of the year. You're missing if you get a 50 game, like you miss 30 of them. And then like there could be another like 20 of these games where you're ramping up back from injury. It still wasn't great basketball that you were playing. So like you've really only given us like 30 really great games of basketball. I would agree with that. That may not be enough to make an All NBA team. And from there, we could have the conversation. But like
Mhm.
if the game difference between the two is a 10-game difference, like that's just not or even worse. Like if Jokic might finish this year off, or Giannis, or even Wemby, because Wemby is not going to miss any games because of his hyperextension. they might finish his year off with like 63 games. So then it's like, my nigga, if you are we really telling ourselves that if they just play 2 more games and all of a sudden it will be a world of a difference for them to then make an All NBA team?
I mean, but anywhere that you put the number, you'll run into that problem, right? So if we put the number to 60 and then Wemby plays like 59, we'll be like, well, what it
Yeah, that's what
why
you're
can't
saying.
Wemby just, you see what I'm saying? So like
Yeah.
any number we put it at, if they end up right below it, we'll feel like they need to make the team anyway. So, but I like the reason why I like the games played rule is, again, I've always said, well, what I've been saying is we have been looking for a criteria. I don't think there is a more basic criteria to meet for an award about a specific season than playing the vast majority of the games in that specific season. Like I don't think that's a problem. And even when you went back to like, oh, Shaq only played 50 some games and whatnot, then to me, he shouldn't have been at least first team on NBA. I've even conceded the fact that I think there can be an idea to where, like, if you want to be first team on NBA, the 60 or 65 games, and then second and third can be 55 plus, or the first team doesn't have to hit as many games. But I do think the first
I'm not mad
team
at
in
that. I'm not mad
particular,
at that. I'm not
yeah,
mad
the
at that.
first team in particular, I do think you should be playing the vast majority of the games and performing at a high level for a majority of that season to get on first team All NBA.
The Shaq thing is a bit odd because that's back when they did positions, and like Shaq and I mean, there's a point in NBA history where the center position is so terrible that I actually probably would take 50 some games of Shaq over the
Mm-hmm.
next nigga like below him. I probably actually would. And similar things with Yao. So the Shaq thing is a bit odd, but I might be able to like settle on the idea of like you got to play 65 games to make first team All NBA. And I also think that Supermax contracts should only be attached to like first or second team All NBA. You making third team All NBA damn near as an injury replacement, as an all-star injury replacement player,
Mm-hmm.
and you make third team All NBA, and all of a sudden you up for a Supermax is fucking crazy to me.
See,
Because
I'm of the belief that the contracts in All NBA teams, the awards period, shouldn't be um, connected to contracts. It should be able to get you a bonus, but it shouldn't determine what contract you're eligible for, right? So, for example,
mm,
I think that is the problem with the All NBA teams, is it being connected to how much money you can make. That's my problem with it. So the fact that the Spurs are going to be able to look at Victor Wembanyama potentially and be like, well, you didn't make an All NBA team, or you didn't win Defensive Player of the Year. So now we can pay you, instead of having to pay you $240 million contract, we can get away with this $200 million contract. To me, that's the problem with the All NBAs and the Defensive Player of the Years and all that kind of stuff, in my opinion.
okay.
And if the Spurs, let's say that this was taking place, right, and there's no team or accolade connected to contract. If the Spurs are dumb enough to look Wemby in his face and be like, "Hey, we're not going to pay you the $225 million contract because you didn't win DPOY. If you let Wemby hit the free market, I promise you there will be 20 teams immediately willing to give him the supermax contract, even though he didn't have, the DPOY or the All NBA team because of games played and whatnot. You see what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah, I
It
hear,
should
I
be
hear
determined on like the
that.
team. How does the individual team value you?
No, I agree with that. But it's just the reality of the rule. I don't think that the ability, like, because effectively voters are left with the responsibility to determine how much money a nigga's going to make, and I think that's actually just outrageous when it's like you said, it's the owner's responsibility to make
Mm-hmm.
that decision. It's not the what you call it, voting. But I don't know. I feel like this year in general though is going to be one of those years where like Shea could genuinely be the next unanimous MVP because Giannis, Jokic will be off the ballot.
I
Unless
think Jokic is
Luka,
still going to play 65 games. By the way,
we'll see. But Giannis, and as a sidebar to people, I do think the gap between Jokic and Shea is close enough to where if Shea plays 75 and Jokic plays 65, that 10-game difference can be the difference between Shea just winning MVP and getting MVP over Jokic. I do think that gap is close enough. So it's the gap I'm talking about is literally like the 15th or 20th best player in contrast to the Shea, Jokic, Luka, Giannis, Wemby, Ant, like that caliber. And in contrast to like the Denny Avdia, the Jalen Johnson, like those caliber players, I think there's a massive enough gap to where we shouldn't even really be having a fucking dialogue. I would definitely rather have 60 games of every other nigga I name over Denny. I rather would. But I do agree with you though about the the concept of like the supermax thing should just be left up to owners. Owners are basically just fucking crossing their fingers, hoping that a nigga get hurt, so they don't have to. They can be like, oh well, technically speaking, you didn't play that. It's like, nigga, you would give me a supermax regardless. Like exactly. no one is sitting here like going back and forth about this shit. You would give me a supermax. So let's be serious.
Yeah, and again, if that owner is dumb enough to not pay, again, example, Wemby, there will be 29 other teams in the league ready to pay him whatever money that he wants immediately. It's not even a question. You know what? I'm going to pivot here, and I hope that you still have this list up because actually we haven't been able to do this since the RP of playback. And I just thought about this, right? Our top 10 players.
You got to get out that Luka hate, right?
Yeah.
You got to get that. No.
It ain't no Luka hate. It ain't no Luka hate.
Don't back away from this.
Hey, it ain't no.
How far back you gonna put Luka on the thing, man? How far back you gonna put him back?
Let's bring up the list.
How far you going? How far you going? Nigga not even top 10 no more?
Let's bring up the list.
Oh, let me get it. Is he still top 10 for you?
Nah, he's for sure top 10.
Yeah, you know, hey, chat, this nigga been dropping Luka so far down, can't even recognize where this nigga belong on list anymore, bro. This nigga just been trashing this nigga Luka. Hold on, let me get the list up, man. I heard you think Jalen Brunson better.
When did I say that?
I heard you saw 5 games of Kawhi and was like,
That's not true. That's definitely not true. But yeah, let's get the list up. Matter of fact, I'm also we're doing this on the fly. This idea actually just let me see if I can get KB on here too to get his new 10.
Let me see.
Because effectively, you know, I've won that games played argument. So there's no need to keep going back and forth about that, right? He agreed with me basically. So
you just agreed with me that there's a threshold amount of games that someone can play.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You literally just said it. You just sat there and said you would still pick Jokic over Denny Avdia. That's what you literally just said it. You literally just said
but I said, but that's because I agreed that 60
you agreed with me. Exactly.
No, you said Jokic played.
You agreed with me. Thank you.
You said Jokic played. You agreed 60 with games. Me. Okay. I've already said
60 games.
60 instead of 65.
Okay, all right. 50 and 59. If Jokic played 59 games,
give me Denny.
Give
me Denny.
You're lying, bro.
You're
so fucking shameless with this shit too. If Jokic played 59 games and Denny played 69 games, who are you picking?
The one that qualifies for the award.
And you're lying.
So Denny Avdia.
You're lying.
Denny Avdia.
If Denny played 65 games on a dot and Jokic played 59, so it's not even 10 games.
Hold on, I got a super chat. If it was SGA who got hurt instead of Jokic, who would be complaining about the 65 game rule? People would mock him and say he got injured flopping. I really don't get this narrative about this, like this being a big deal because of Jokic. And I would love to be the first one to bring up how the NBA is shifting yet again because of Nikola Jokic, because we've already seen them do it with what was the stat? What was the stat that they adjusted to where Nikola Jokic graded out better? It was
I don't know.
something that Russell Westbrook was leading in at first.
Oh, PER.
Was it PER? It might have been PER. It might
Yeah,
have been
they
PER, but
changed
then they
PER
changed up the
because
math.
Russ. Yeah,
Yeah, so Oh,
yeah,
they saw Russ at the top of PER.
yeah.
Gotta change that.
Got
But
it.
you see Nikola Jokic at the top of it every time, every year. No problem with that. Cool, cool, cool.
Yeah.
Also,
Matter of fact, we're gonna use that stat to prove that he's not as bad as a defender as y'all make him out to
exactly,
be.
exactly,
And to the people
exactly.
who's saying that, like, I'm only saying this because of Jokic, I literally made a video three weeks ago talking about the 65 game rule and how bad it, like I just don't agree with it. So this is before Jokic got hurt. I just like looked at the landscape and I was like, man, not only is this kind of crazy that we're gonna miss certain players on an all NBA team, because at that time I thought it was just going to be Jokic and Shea. But then
Mm-hmm.
on the flip side, I was like, bro, Hali literally just forced himself to play basketball. And that is the other problem with the rule. And I do have to list up, but that is the other problem with the rule is that none of y'all are going to acknowledge what comes out on the other side of it. The other side of the rule is that niggas will force themselves to play basketball and then sustain a career-altering injury. And some of you all are too young to comprehend what that looks like because for most of your life, you've watched a lot of great players play for a very, very long time in your lifetime. So you're still watching Curry, you're still watching KD, you're still watching LeBron. Up until really like 4 or 5 years ago, you were still watching Chris Paul play really good basketball. You're still watching Russ in the league, Harden's in the league, Kawhi is now in a 5-game stretch where he's playing great. I don't know when the last time that you all have actually seen a player who you genuinely thought, maybe Derrick Rose, who you genuinely thought had really high potential to be an all-time great, and it was just like that, shattered and taken away from you.
I'm so confused on how you think Halliburton proves your point.
Bro, he was playing through calf and hamstring injuries for like 2 years. What are you talking about?
Yeah, he played, but he qualified and then got the contract he wanted.
He forced himself to play the games to get to that point, though. He forced himself. He was hurt. He was hurt that year.
Okay, he was injured. Yes.
Okay, so if he is jeopardizing his body to just play the games, also niggas were then criticizing him because I got into a whole back and forth with fucking Jeff Teague about, oh well, he's not really playing that well, and it's like, well, he's not playing that well because he's forcing himself to play the games to do this shit. So then y'all are criticizing a nigga for not playing well, and even though y'all all know that niggas hurt, and so what the fuck are we doing? But he jeopardized.
He's playing the games and he's not playing well.
No
But
way,
but then
no way,
again, but
no
then
way,
again, he
no
still
way.
made the All NBA team because
No,
I
I
actually
get that.
think that like because for half that season he was mid, but because the whole league knew what he was doing, they rewarded him by still putting him on All NBA team so he can get the contract.
I get that, but he got but at what cost? If for the last year and a half,
You
if
would okay,
essentially
so but see, this is where me and you just disagree as far as just
okay,
the fundamentals of athletics, right?
okay,
If I'm somebody who's playing hurt or injured
mm-hmm.
or whatever the case may be, yeah, I'm making that decision so I can qualify for a $220 million contract.
Mm-hmm. I'm saying that qualification shouldn't be there.
Well, you're saying that I do agree that he shouldn't have to make All NBA to get the contract. But I'm saying
I'm saying he shouldn't have to play 65 games. Let me be clear. We both agree because Indiana is another example where they just would have given a nigga the super max contract
correct.
anyway. But I'm saying that the 65 game threshold should not have been there anyway for him to make an All NBA team. He should have
But
just
if he
made an
was,
All NBA
but
team.
see, but no, but he's not gonna. He wouldn't have made an All NBA team if he's as hurt as you're saying that he is. He's probably not even playing over 50 games.
And we have to go back and see who
So you see what
didn't
I'm
make
saying?
it.
Like if
But
he's hurt and
who
doesn't
didn't
play,
make?
he's not going to make the All NBA team.
But who didn't make it though?
What was this? 23-24
I got.
year?
This is 2024. Let's see.
Um, 2024 All NBA teams. You got
So it would have been Jaylen Brown, Paul George, Maxey, Gobert, and Rookie Wimby. So Rookie Wimby,
Rookie Wimby definitely could have made that slide over Tyrese Halliburton that year. For sure. Tyrese Halliburton started off that season fantastic.
No.
He was mid the whole other half of that year.
But then we go back into the argument of how many like great games, because Rookie Wimby really only gave you like 40 really great games.
And Tyrese only gave you
that, but that's what I'm saying. If they're both only giving you 40 to 50 really great games, and the other is just fucking mid, then what are we talking about? If they're both only giving you 40 to 50 games of all NBA caliber, correct?
Okay.
And the rest is just straight fucking mid. Okay. Why would you then prevent me from getting an all NBA spot?
Because we would be saying that his mid wasn't as bad as your mid, and his better was better than your better. What? Wait. Are you saying there's no argument for Wemby making this team over Halliburton that year?
I think he should have made it over D Book, but D Book is another. Yeah, D Book.
You think Tyrese Halliburton played better than Devin Booker for the totality?
No. I'm saying if Hali only plays like 55 to 60 games that year, and he sits out the rest of them, so he gets to like the rest. I think if he missed a few more games, then he would be fine. He would have been good enough to make the I think he would have played well enough to then make an all NBA team.
Who?
Hali.
But he did it.
Again, we're gonna.
If you look, I'll pull this up right now.
In the first 30 games that year, he was amazing. 25, 13, and 4 on 50, 41, 86 shooting splits.
The first how many games?
30. That's the first 30.
Okay, the first 30. Then he gets hurt, right? Yes. And then I'm seeing
January 10th, 37th. That's where he just starts missing games, and then he forces his way back to the 19th, which he should not have to do. And then he comes back.
But you're not going to make. You keep saying you're not going to make an All NBA team playing 30 games.
I'm not saying just the 30. I'm saying the nigga could have came back on the 3rd. I'm saying he could have came back on the 3rd of March and played another 20 great games. So you'd have 50 games. 50 great games. That's what I'm saying, nigga.
Low.
That's what I'm saying.
He's not making the All NBA team. Wasn't there? Matter of fact,
he made it basically off of him playing. He made it that year. Basically only playing 50 great
games.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, if I can still make it off of 50 great games, you're telling me because I played 15 other mid games, I played 15 trash games just so I can get to this threshold. Now all of a sudden, because of those 15 trash games, I'm now good enough to make
the NBA team. Let him make that team because they wanted to set a precedent that yes, if you do play the game and you're an All NBA caliber player,
do you hear what you're saying though? Do you hear what you're saying?
You're incentivizing to play the 65. That's what the league did.
What I'm basically saying is, chat. I can play 30 games up at this level, and then it'd be better after that 30 games at this level that I play another like 15 games at this level and another 15 games in the fucking dirt just so I can cross this threshold or 20, whatever the fucking math is. where I can then cross. I mean, there's games where Hali is out there and it's. I mean, he is bullshit. It's games out there where Hali is straight bullshitting. 3 for 5, 5 for 17, 5 for 16, 2 for 8, 0 for 7. Hey, I gotta play these guys. I gotta log these games in. I have to log these games in. If that's the case, let's chat. Let's keep it all the way a beam. Let's keep it all the way a beam then. Shit, I might just log in, play 5 minutes, and come right out.
You have to play at least 20 minutes for the game.
Let me play 20 minutes and come right out. Because the fact, that's another
what
reason.
Been doing.
And that's why I told Paul Pierce, shut up, nigga. Shut up. God damn. You niggas don't want, y'all just don't like anything. Fuck. The nigga doing what he can to make the team, but he coming off the bench. Hear Paul Pierce saying, "Oh shit! If it was me, I wouldn't even shut that shit, nigga. I would just out there be playing. Didn't give a fuck what's going on. I just fucking play." Paul Pierce can't even.
Why he gotta sound like that?
Paul Pierce can't even make the All NBA team before the fucking rule was established because he's not even good enough. So what the fuck that nigga know? That's nasty. That's nasty.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Okay, but this is what I'm saying now. Okay. Hali plays great for 30 games, right? Start the year, right? And to be honest, right, he was playing fake basketball because he actually no other time in his career has he reached these heights. I'm just being absolutely honest with you.
And so now we have to hear this narrative.
Heights. But no, wait. Let me finish what I'm saying. Let me his last 36 games played. So mind you, Hali played 69 games this year. So majority 36 gets to over half of his games. He averaged 16.9 points, 9.5 assists. He was shooting 45% from the field, 32% from three. That's not an all NBA player.
So I want to be clear. So you're basically saying he made it off of the 30 games.
Well, he made it because he continued to play.
No. But Wemby played 71. There's a bunch of other players below him who played just as many, if not more, basketball, but didn't make it. But you're saying that for only 30 games, he played at an All-NBA level, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Follow me.
But he did. I know what you're saying. I get what you're trying to say. But if you're
don't run from this. Pause.
This is what I am saying. But I'm saying because I remember the environment around that discussion because that was the first year the rule got implemented, correct?
Yes.
Okay, that was the first year. So when people when we realized that Halliburton would potentially not make the team because he got hurt, the league sentiment was, oh my goodness, Holly's about to miss out on this money because of the games played. So he made himself play. And so what I'm saying is he didn't just get it because he was great in the 30 games, because he got it because number one, everybody knew what he was he was playing for a contract. And number two, it would be good for a new rule to incentivize that, yes, if you play the 65 games, we're going to reward you by putting you on the All-NBA team so you do get the contract. We're saying the same thing, but we're getting there. I think we're getting there at a different.
The contract thing does provide like another variable that we have to take into consideration, and I think that's fair, and I think it's very real that they probably gave him the nod so he could get his contract.
Yeah, so he can get.
Yes, that's fair. So let me ask you this before we get to my other point. Do you think that they would have given him, if the rule wasn't in play, the Supermax rule, if that wasn't in place, do you think they would have given him the All-NBA selection? But the 65 game rule still exists. But the Supermax, the Supermax connected to the All-NBA, that doesn't exist. Indiana can just give him a Supermax even if he plays 30 fucking games, right? They can still give him whatever they want to give him. Do you think they would have given him an All-NBA selection if that was the case. If he just played 65 games and he played that the same way he just
Play
did.
like this?
Yes.
No.
Do you not? Okay. So the Supermax thing is a problem. We've established that. Okay, cool. And what I'm saying is, I think it's better for Hali to have missed those games, came back in March so he can play 20 games. And if that was enough time for him to get healed up and go back to playing at bare minimum similar caliber basketball than he was playing before, and he would have provided you with 50 plus games playing at the 25-12 and 50-40, 88 status. If he gave you 50 games of that, do you think then that would be enough for him to make an all NBA team over Wemby and Jaylen Brown?
I would have to go back and look at what
because
Jaylen Brown and Wemby were doing.
Wemby that year came out the first, like, he played 71 games, but the first like 20 games were like, it really wasn't. I think if it was, I don't think it was all NBA. I think he was all defensive team, but it wasn't all NBA. But the last which was crazy. Wemby's first 20 games. Oh no, this is the first 20 games he played. 19 and 10, 43% from the field, 25% from behind the arc. But he was getting you 2.73 blocks. So that's Wemby's first 20. The last, I think the last 20 for Wemby is where it was like, yeah, this nigga's like, he's getting to that point. The last 20.
Okay. Because now I'm thinking, let me flip the question back on. If the contract is not in jeopardy for the All NBA selection, do you even think Halliburton is worried about playing the games and just worried about getting back healthy, regardless of how many games in that specific year he plays?
That's what I said. I don't think he's going to be worried. He'll just come back. He would give himself another 20-game runway before he came back.
But what if it's more than 20 games? What if it's 30? What if he ends up playing like 45 games that year because he spent the time to get healthy?
Well, then at that point, I don't think that 40 enough. I don't think playing 40 games is enough.
He doesn't make All NBA. That's what I'm saying. So you're putting in a stipulation to where you're like, oh, what if he gets healthy, but also he gets healthy fast enough to come back and play a certain amount of games that maybe could qualify him for All NBA. But what if he doesn't, bro?
Then he doesn't make. I mean, I'm all this is fluid, so it just depends on what happens. What I'm saying is, if that season he gets hurt and he doesn't come back until March, and he comes back in March and he plays well enough to finish out the season, he gives you 50-some game sample size of really great basketball. I think a 50-some sample size of really great basketball, I think that is enough for him to make an All NBA team that year. If the next names up are fucking Paul George, Rudy Gobert, Vic, Maxey, and
so now we don't like DPOY level defense. Now it's just
okay.
Didn't Rudy Gobert win Defensive Player of the Year that year?
You're yapping, bro. You're yapping.
No. Did he win Defensive Player of the Year that year?
You're yapping, bro. I think
Can you answer the
question?
Yeah,
I said I think so.
Okay, so last year in 24-25, who won DPOY? Evan Mobley?
Yes.
Okay, didn't he make an All NBA team?
I don't know.
I don't think so. Evan Mobley, All NBA?
No, he didn't.
He
did. He's second team.
Oh. So DPOY.
What the fuck does that mean?
So DPOYs make All NBA teams.
They can.
They can.
The years that Rudy Gobert, outside of that year, the previous years where he won DPOY, did he make an All NBA team? With the
his first DPOY, he didn't make an All NBA team.
The second
and third he did. So it's 50-50.
All right, so he would have had a chance to make All NBA team. That's what I'm saying.
But there's several times where someone wins DPOY and doesn't like that. I don't know how often some of the years when Mutombo won DPOY. Yeah, the first year that Mutombo won DPOY, he didn't make an All NBA team. Same with the second. He didn't make an All NBA
It's almost
team.
not Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, he's better. You're fucking disgusting. I don't know why I'm talking to you right now. You're so disgusting.
What?
You're so disgusting, bro. You're so disgusting, bro. You're disgusting.
Bro,
You know,
Real talk,
only
you have been nasty this episode. I'm not gonna lie.
how am I being nasty?
Because it's like you keep. It's funny to watch because like you keep out of nowhere. You're trying to like grab a straw anywhere. You're just like just now you just did it with the All NBA team. Don't know where that came from, but you just threw that out there.
That's what we're
just to
talking
get a
about.
straw.
Marcus
No.
Smart. Marcus Smart didn't win. He didn't make All Defensive Team. I mean, All NBA team. There's several.
He's not as good
people.
of a player as Rudy Gobert.
That's the point, my nigga.
Right,
That's
Rudy
the
Gobert.
point.
Rudy Gobert. What I'm saying is Rudy Gobert is good enough to make an All NBA team.
You
That's what
don't
I'm
fucking
saying.
believe this. You're just yapping
I
right
don't
now.
believe it, but I know that they do. I know that they do.
So like, can we dial this back a little bit?
Yo,
Can we dial this back?
this is
Because-
disgusting.
First of all, hello guys, how are y'all?
What
Good
up
to
with
see
you, dog? What
Happy
up? What
New
up? What
Year,
up?
G.
Didn't want to disrupt
Happy
y'all
New
combo.
Year's. Yes.
Happy New Year. So let's clarify both of y'all stances on this issue, right? So real talk, your stance is you support the 65 game rule, right?
Well, it doesn't have to be 65 games, but I support a games played rule. Yes.
Okay, and then Lo, I know that you don't support it, and I'm guessing from what I've been hearing, your reasoning behind that is because a lot of these players, like Halliburton that you brought up, at that point they're just logging in games rather than actually playing, and especially when they're hurt, it's like they're logging in. What I was understanding when I was watching was they're literally logging in these games when they're obviously hurt for a paycheck, and that right there, where he said he is severely against the contract stipulations from, the All NBA and even all defensive teams. And I agree with that. I don't agree wholeheartedly that somebody's money should be affected because Jokic is a good example because of an unforeseen injury that no one can see coming. And now, like Tyrese Halliburton, he forced himself to play, which eventually led to him tearing his Achilles in the finals.
Yes. Oh yeah, because but I think we both agree that.
Wait. That was the other point that was made in your video, and now Doves made that point. Those two things and injuries have nothing to do with what we're talking about. Halliburton got hurt in the playoffs. He hurt his calf in the playoffs, and he decided to play because he's trying to win a championship.
But that was wear and tear. He was also it's wear and
you could
tear
just
as
wear
well
and tear,
through the
yeah.
season. He forced himself to play to get the
He
contract.
forced himself to play 2 years ago.
And he was
Not
still
last
dealing.
year.
He was still dealing with the. He was still not 100% playing into the next year.
That was he was dealing with a hamstring injury, and so y'all are telling me because he was dealing with a hamstring injury that led to him tearing his Achilles.
We don't know. We don't know.
That's something that can happen over
don't
time,
know.
especially hamstrings. Hamstrings
Now
take
you
a
need some
while.
doctors. Now y'all.
I guess. Are you a doctor? Are you a doctor?
I mean,
No, you're
this is the
saying
same.
it. Y'all
Bro,
are
we
saying it
literally
as a
see.
fact.
I just said
No.
I said we don't know.
Real
It
talk.
could be.
No, real talk. I mean, James Harden, perfect example of this. James Harden forced himself to play in Brooklyn in 2021.
Yes.
He's never been the same ever since that. He's never been the same.
Has he torn his Achilles because of it?
No, but the hamstring
Exactly.
injury, it's
So
a
trying to tie
lingering
those two
injury that
injuries together, it's nonsense.
it's a lingering
nonsense.
injury that can lead to a lot of other
Yes,
things.
that is nonsense.
Oh,
And
man.
again, him playing in the playoffs is him trying to win a championship.
Bro,
These players get hurt.
Him forcing himself to play in a regular season is also still trying to achieve that goal because if he
No,
doesn't
that's
play,
him trying to
then he
get
doesn't.
paid.
The next year,
That's the issue.
the very next year, he's still playing basketball when he probably shouldn't be playing as many games.
So
as he's
that's
playing.
a him problem. What the?
What he,
Does Halliburton not have a brain? Can he not think for himself?
yeah, but when the point I'm making though is that, bro, now we're getting nasty.
This is disgusting.
Now we're getting nasty. They all have a brain. They all have the decision. But if you are then pressuring them, I'm not saying you, but if the consensus is that we need to pressure these niggas to play basketball without acknowledging what the repercussions are, because that's basically us saying like, well, does Grant Hill have a brain? Did Derrick Rose have a brain? Like, there's several niggas who forced themselves to play basketball, and we know what the end result was. So to remove all of that from being a possibility, because that could be an outcome of it all. We know that can be an outcome of it. At some point, there does need to be, hey, we need to protect niggas from themselves. And that's effectively how we got to this point anyway. We got down to this point because
but we've already acknowledged. Wait. When we talk about load management, the first retort is always, well, actually, majority of the time when these players are sitting out, the team is doing that anyway.
Yeah, they're protecting from
themselves. Okay. So we already have a system in place where they do protect them from themselves. Excuse me if
why are you asking?
Wait. Time out. Excuse me if I'm mistaken or not. Was Halliburton was making himself play games this past season in the regular season?
The season that ended?
This past
in the regular season, this past season.
He was not. He still wasn't healthy, bro.
Halliburton, you could tell he just wasn't moving the same way.
He wasn't healthy. He wasn't healthy, and it was saying he wasn't healthy in the Olympics either.
Yeah, he did. He barely played in the Olympics, right?
Yes, they said it.
Yeah.
It was literally reported he wasn't even healthy even in the Olympics. Now I agree with that. Him and Embiid should not have went over there to play in the Olympics. I agree with that.
That's their fault. That's their fault.
No, now you're cooked. You're cooked. Both of y'all are cooked. Because if he's so hurt, if he is so, oh my God, his hamstring is killing him so much. Why is he over there not playing in Yucatan or wherever the fuck?
But real talk. This is where you're being. This is where you're being absolutely disgusting, because darn well, sir.
I want to give excuses to him for, oh my God, he's so hurt.
No, let's be realistic. It's not excuse. Let's be realistic.
And he's also playing in the off season where he doesn't have to.
Real talk. Let's be realistic, right? Whatever players, people in general, let's say people in general, men in general, right? When they feel like they need to do something for money, they're more than likely going to do that, right? Halliburton then logging in games so that he can reach 65. Someone in terms of winning something, an accomplishment, guess what? They're going to try to overcome whatever they're going through to reach that accomplishment. Therefore, finals, right? Now you have Tyrese Halliburton, another accomplishment in the Olympics, and then also playing with, what was it? Star-studded team. This is going to be like the 92 Dream Team, 2008 Redeem Team. Everyone will want to be a part of that. They're going to screw it. I want to go through my injury just to be a part of it.
He's choosing to play.
Do you think Embiid was 100% healthy?
And I think Embiid, dumbass, shouldn't have been. I think Kawhi Leonard was the only smart one. Hey, you know what?
He's not the one. No. He's not the one who went. The Clippers pulled him. He didn't pull himself.
That was smart on the Clippers.
Okay. but the point we're all making is that you can clearly see that some of these players are willing to do dumb shit that they shouldn't be doing. That's the point we're making. They should not have been doing. Kawhi was so bad that they were like, yeah, no, this is no.
And Kawhi was trying to play.
So you're telling me, so what you're saying is last year, because again, this is past the season.
Or was it not the Clippers?
I'm talking about, okay, Olympics. We're talking about the 24-25 year, because it was the 23-24 year where he needed to play to qualify for the contract, right? So we're all on the same page. After 23-24, he has the contract. He gets the all NBA team. He gets the Supermax. So he is signed. So the next year, which was last year, the 24-25 season, you're telling me that he was forcing himself to play and Indiana should have told him, don't play?
Yes. Literally, yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. Who wouldn't want to be a part of the Olympics with LeBron, KD, all of them joining, get Steph? Who wouldn't want to be a part of that? Who wouldn't?
The first 20 games, and not only Olympics, but then in the first 20 games of like the season, you can clearly tell he was not the same player, bro. He
got healthier as he continued to play?
No, he missed. There's a stretch in March where he's missing games. He didn't play all 82.
But how many did he play?
He played, I think, like 70. No, he played. I think he played like 70. There's like a stretch.
So he played 70 games.
There's like a stretch in the season where he's not playing.
Yeah, but he still ends up playing 70 games.
Okay.
The point that's being made here is Halliburton did something before in the regular season to therefore guarantee the contract. Then for other circumstances like the Olympics, he's also still forcing himself to play. One of those forces is something that's from the league, not from him. The Olympics, cool, that's on him. But him forcing himself to play in the regular season was only because of the 65 game rule, because of the NBA that the NBA put in place, which then could have resulted to all of these things happening to him in the very next year. Hamstring injuries are not just injuries that go away. I'm sorry to tell people this. It's not like, yeah, you get a hammy 1 year and then the next year you're nice and fine and dead.
So
it lingers, especially toward he got it towards the end of
be playing extracurricular basketball that he's not getting paid.
We agree with you, but that's just the
agree.
reality. That's just the reality of what it is, though. And that, like, and I know you're not saying this real talk, but like you have people in the chat who saying what happened to the love of the game. It's that to me is the biggest problem I have with it. It's like this narrative that these niggas are choosing not to play. That's not what's fucking happening. There are people who are trying to even fuck the contract situation for a second. There are people who are trying to determine 2 or 3 things. A, how exactly is my legacy going to be remembered? Because now all of a sudden there are things that my legacy is in jeopardy of because I do or do not want to play basketball. The second thing is, how long do I want my career for? You niggas are so concerned about being entertained because you treat these niggas like puppets that they can't be human beings and then make decisions that, hey, I could either play basketball and wreck my shit for the next 30 fucking years of my life and never be able to walk straight again, or I can just sit the fuck down and potentially preserve myself to play basketball beyond whatever I'm doing right now.
Money because of it, and that to me is okay. If you don't qualify for the All NBA teams because you're choosing to prioritize your long-term health, that's fine. But maybe you won't be All NBA some of these seasons.
So,
I get that. Wait, I want to. My point is that you could just not be NBA. No more, period. Like, we don't know what the fuck. We don't know what Halliburton or Tatum's career is going to look. And I'm not saying Tatum. I'm just saying Tatum played and he had a calf. He got it. He has an Achilles here now. We don't know what their career could ever look like for the rest of their career. And so this idea that niggas is not playing basketball because they don't really love the sport. It's like, bro, y'all, people say that shit and then don't acknowledge what the outcome of all of this is. And the outcome of it is that now there's players who are jeopardizing themselves, and we don't know what they're gonna look like for the rest of their fucking career. We don't know.
That is part of athletics.
I get that, but what I'm saying is I'm not saying that for you. What I'm saying is don't then say these niggas don't love the fucking sport. It's like,
oh no, I'm never one saying that.
No, that's all.
Well, he addressed the chat. He was addressing the chat. I would like to say, I do believe like there are definitely players who literally will be like, I don't feel like playing tonight. Just say my ankle messed up, right? And I don't agree with that, right? I don't agree with that at all.
Yes.
There are players that the league definitely has to limit in a way to sit here and force those players who have those moments of, I just don't feel like logging in the game tonight. I'm gonna just sit out, because a lot of players do that. But on the flip side of this, to negate people's money and even legacy, which now you're putting a lot of these players in a bad position. It's like now you're kind of forcing players to even play while they're hurt. Does the outcome really, does the end result really justify everything else, right? Does the end result of them playing 65 games justify them, a Halliburton, a Jason Tatum, or Nikola Jokic, maybe having to force themselves to play to ruin their whole careers? I don't think that justifies it. Just because some other players just want to take off, I don't think it justifies that. If people want to get fined for taking some games off, I'm cool with that. If they come to find out that they just sat a game just because, they should get fined for it. Absolutely. I could agree with that. But when we're sitting here like messing with people's money and legacy, especially in an era, a lot of these injuries happen at a very high level right now is because they are running a ridiculous amount in the game, like more than they've ever ran in NBA history. The amount of switching, the amount of covering at the three-point line, the amount of rotating, and then the pace, bro, you're killing your ankles and your knees. Your knees are going to die eventually. So it's like they have to sit here and find a different way around that. Not sacrificing their legacy and their money is not a way to go, in my mind. I don't think
So yeah, news for anybody, news flash. When you're a professional athlete, you have to like take all of those things into consideration, and you and your team have to make the best decision, or what y'all deem is the best decision for you individually. So that is always going to be a part of sport. That's always going to be part of athletics. You can never remove that from the situation. If you feel like it is in your best interest to sit out more games to try to expand your career for the long haul, yes, you might be sacrificing some short-term money. That just kind of like is what it is. That to me isn't a good enough reason to be like, oh, this is wrong, or whatever y'all are saying, because Tyrese Halliburton had to decide, hey, if my fucking hamstring is hanging on by a thread, maybe don't go to the Olympics where I'm not getting paid to play.
But
that's a him problem. That is a him decision.
No. This is not a him. This is a league issue, right? This is an
How
NBA
is Halliburton
I'm gonna
playing
tell
in
you
the
why.
Olympics or a league?
I'm going to tell you why. This is why it's a league issue. The NBA has always been a player-driven league. What jump started them was Larry Bird and Magic. What then carried that was MJ. It's always been about the players, right? So the league, it has an issue here because they have no choice but to protect these players. Because if guys like Wemby, if he doesn't sustain, guess what? It's not just the Spurs and Victor get hurt. The league is getting hurt because that's one of the guys that can sit here and carry the league into a whole new stratosphere or sustain, popularity post LeBron. This guy's getting hurt left and right. They need to find a way to sustain that. The league has no choice but to find a way to sustain the players. If not, their product is going to be ruined.
It's not the league's responsibility for
it is.
No, to an extent it is. But using Victor when Victor is already right now on a minutes restriction, and still got hurt.
I just use that as an example.
So what I'm saying, what more can the league do outside of like some?
What they can do is take away the 65-game rule out. What they can do is just take the 65-game rule.
Right, but then that also hurts. You know what hurts the league, Dub? Also is when the star players like Wemby aren't playing the vast majority of games, and then you get fans complaining, which is how we got here in the first place, by the way. The rule was put in place for the load management. That was the original reasoning.
But that wasn't because of Wemby. That's because of Kawhi.
I'm not saying it's because of Wemby. What I'm saying is that's how we got here in the first place.
You're right. But can we also acknowledge that the load management thing is extended way too much, that niggas were acting as if like, because effectively it was Kawhi and Embiid. Those were the two, and if you want to throw Ben Simmons in there, fine. But it was really just 2 to 3 niggas that was really excessively laying on the whole fucking we doing a whole bunch. Yeah, like we can people need, because this whole idea that y'all genuinely think that there was a bunch of other people who were doing the low management thing to degrees in which it would then jeopardize their ability to make all NBA. It was really just 2 or 3 players. And when I am now saying the fact that Kawhi is, and granted Kawhi started the season really late, but here we are now, and Kawhi is now playing exceptionally great basketball. I just do not believe that Kawhi. I don't even know if Kawhi would still be in the league at this point. I just don't know. If Kawhi was out there forcing himself to just play basketball games for the sake of playing basketball games, he just would not. I don't think he would even be in the league right now. He just wouldn't be. And y'all can take that as y'all want to take it. Some people think that he's milking the situation, which, to be fair, he probably is. But the reality is, like, he's still playing basketball. Yeah, he is.
You said Kawhi's milking the situation?
Yeah, I think Kawhi's probably milking.
No, I'm not gonna lie. Like,
I think
my bad. I don't mean to interrupt you, but with how bad his knees are, and like it's a degenerative knee. Nah, I don't think he's milking it. I think
I'm talking about how much money he keeps signing for, because he's signing. He's signing.
Yeah. Without a doubt, he's milking.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
But that's the point. Yeah, Kawhi. There's nothing that is. Kawhi's not playing games because he has degenerate knees. Same with Embiid. Like, he's not playing games and he's trying to figure out what's going on because there's an actual real problem. And so it would be almost as if like David Stern back in the day, I'm like, man, fucking Penny and Grant Hill not playing, so I'm instituting. It's like, we know what's wrong with them. There's something legitimately wrong with them. So we shouldn't then make because they have something wrong with them, a now institutional rule that everybody now has to abide by because 2 or 3 people just are not playing games because Grant Hill and Penny Hardaway aren't playing games, and then you got fat ass Shaq, he's sitting out games as well. Now everybody must abide by this rule. I just think that's a bit excessive. That's all I'm saying.
It's like the few, which the few actually have real issues.
Yes.
Now hurting everyone else, which majority of people do play. So I don't understand. Yeah, majority of people do play. Now there are some people that don't play for whatever reason, which I don't agree with, but they do play. So it's like, come on, what are we doing?
And I do think we're like harping on people who don't play way too much. And up until but Jokic got a real injury. And Jokic,
always play.
Tatum, Brown, like there's several players who play. This idea that like, well, y'all just don't play, and it's like, fuck, bro. Like there's several players that play. But real talk, let me explain to me how far down you gonna put Luka. Come on, throw that one in.
No, okay.
No.
I'm reading the super.
You're turning on Luka is crazy.
Super chats. And then we're gonna get to that. And also, I did put the link in the chat.
You gonna drop into 11?
No, not at all. So the tribe one, if the rule was 20 games, then I'd be okay with it. Well, that's dumb. If it was SGA who got hurt instead of Jokic, who would be we already read that. We already read that. A criteria for art doesn't make much sense. The rule was to protect owners from themselves, not about load management. And now Denny will get Supermax. Well, he'll qualify for.
He'll qualify, but if somebody's dumb enough to run around and throw him in a Supermax, I think that'll be.
They should. That's a superstar in the making, man. Come on, man. I trust.
Portland might actually do that too. Actually, they might actually do that.
Jesse said, "Low, how did LeBron play yesterday?
He was great yesterday. But y'all be on his penis way too much.
No, you actually be the one on it. That's the iron. Shout out to the 290 here, by the way. Make sure y'all sub to the channel. We're trying to hit 5K as soon as possible. So make sure that you sub up and hit that notification bell so you know when we're live and when we drop a video. We're actually about to drop a video.
How many people here?
Now, it's now 800.
Oh, you said 290.
You did say 290.
Oh, my fault. I meant to say
you said 290.
I was like, damn, is this shit wrong with me?
Yeah, my fault. Embiid is a better point over Hali. The tribe one said that. I don't know what that really means. Embiid got hurt the same season and re-injured trying to meet the 65-game rule, made him questionable for FIBA, and he's still dealing with it. Then he said, well, you have an issue they remove the 75-game rule, real talk. Do you think whatever collective bargain goes, no matter how dumb? I don't think the 65-game rule is dumb. Again, I may lower it. I may say 60, and then for a second and third team on NBA, maybe like a 55.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that.
Playing the vast majority of the games to qualify for seasonal awards for that season makes nothing but complete common sense, in my opinion. Let's see. The tribe one again said players should have to sign a waiver to play hurt. My goodness, you just want to baby these niggas. Bob says leave that up to the players to preserve their body or not. There are requirements to get a championship, and that is that your best player is there. Also, you are saying longevity doesn't matter. Go New York, go. Was that being said? I'm not sure. And then Delsky says, real talk, Cook can bring me on for backup, bro. Okay. We'll bring some people on stage right after we're done with the list.
What list do you have?
You said what?
You put him at 12?
Bro, oh wait, I have to bring it up my phone.
You're turning on Luka like this is crazy.
I'm about to be upset at me.
Yeah, I was there. Nah, I'm not turning on Luka. Luka turning on me. So let's don't have KB here. I guess we'll get Dub's quick top 10 as well, as far as top 10 far this season. So Low, go ahead. Start off with we're going 10 up, right? We'll go
Wait,
10,
wait.
9, 8 first.
Does
go
Giannis
10,
not
9, 8.
qualify because he missed so many games?
That's your decision to make.
No. That's no. Absolutely not.
That's
Is
your
Giannis going to
decision
qualify
make.
for your list? Yes or no?
We gotta know.
No,
Because Kate,
That's your decision to make.
All right, fine. When we get to your list, we're gonna see how low Giannis and Luka drops. Let's see.
yeah.
That's fine, whatever.
Reeves is gonna drop for me,
Mm.
and that's mainly because how great I think Cade and Max been playing really great basketball.
Okay.
Am I doing everything, or you want me to just do? Because I can do everything real quick.
What you mean? Oh, like the whole list?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
D Mitch is gonna drop.
Drop.
I gotta put Ant because of Ant.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Ant. I had
Yeah,
Ant
that
a little.
makes sense. That makes
I
sense.
had Ant a little low. Actually, you know what?
That makes sense.
And put Ant above Luka. Luka's gonna drop for me.
Mm.
I'm gonna keep Wemby there.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to JB. Because Jalen,
You're adding him in there. That's a good one. That's a good add.
Jalen Brown has been hooping. I can't even hold you. I can't even hold you, bro.
I remember when I tried to put him on the top 10 last time, and y'all were like,
he's been playing way better since then. We can be honest with ourselves, real talk. You don't have to sit here and be like, I told you so, merchant. You're I told you so, merchant. He's been playing better. Fuck, man. Sorry, Reeves.
I mean, Reeves been hurt, so he's got to fall. Because this is strictly from this year, right? Strictly from
so far this year.
Okay.
Shout out to Brunson too. He close as well. Brunson might be over Maxey. Fuck. Let me leave it right there. I'm gonna leave mine like that.
Yeah.
So I'm taking KB.
On your list is
I might have to put Brunson on here. But let me do some research because Brunson has also been he's been hooping out his mind too, bro. It's a lot of great players, chat. There's a lot of like really great players.
Yeah. Well, while you doing that, so I'm taking KB spot right there to the right, and then Real Talk's going last. I'm not going to change. I guess the top four to me could stay the same. I think the top four is fine for me. Jokic, Shea, Giannis, and then Luka. Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Okay.
We can go. If we're gonna move Luka down, maybe a spot or two. I mean, maybe he goes down because D Mitch has been playing amazing. I'm not gonna hold you, and Luka's been them threes be pissing me off sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. So I guess for this,
Luka too.
So if we're going off of like this year and how they've been playing, I guess we'll just bump Edwards. We'll put Mitchell in front of Edwards, and then we'll put Luka where Edwards. So swap Edwards and Luka. I mean, swap Mitchell and Luka.
So okay.
Yeah, because Edwards, man, he's been cooking, bro.
And has been cooking.
And has been cooking too. Wemby can stay. Maxey. See, the thing with Maxey and Steph is like, dang, they play.
I forgot about Curry too.
Yeah, Curry's been hooping too.
Curry has been.
I wanna do like. Can we add like a couple other spots in here, man?
No, it's 10. It's 10.
Oh my goodness, this is tough.
Oh, I forgot about Curry. Damn.
Because all right, so because Maxey's been there for most of the year, I'm gonna be like Real Talk here. So I'll put Maxey over Curry. Damn. And then I guess even though Jaylen Brown, I think has been playing crazy, I gotta go with Jalen Brunson. I'm gonna go with Jalen Brunson.
So take Reeves off of Brunson.
Yeah. But Jaylen Brown is like right outside of it.
Oh man, the league is so fucking good, man. This shit is crazy. This is crazy. Curry, I forgot about Curry.
Bro, my goodness, bro.
Curry been good, bro. Curry been good.
For me, take out Maxey, put Curry. It's unfortunate for Maxey. He has been playing good basketball, but
I might have to take out Cade, man.
You might have to. Kate over Maxi? I don't know about that.
I might have to take out Cade or Maxey for either Brunson or Curry. All right, who you got?
Put Ant over Luka.
I'm just taking Luka out, right?
Nah, don't just take Luka out. Put Ant over Luka. Put they finna hate me for this one. Put Wemby and Cade over Luka as well.
That's why I wasn't gonna put him there for a second, but I'm like, he gonna move this nigga down a lot.
Yeah.
So.
Luka over Cade over Luka?
Look at their last 2 months of basketball.
Yo, I don't know about Cade over Luka, man.
Look at their last 2 months of basketball and tell me they're not.
Are we doing 2 months or a whole season?
It's basically only been about 2 months. November, December.
Yeah, what's his cutoff that he's using? You gotta use the whole season, man. I'll let you finish. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. And matter of fact, for the ones that and you're definitely a hater, real talk, no fact. So maybe I'm just going with the data. I don't know. For those who are wondering, because I've had to do this now several times for you dumb fucks in the chat. Luka Doncic in the month of November this year averaged for you PRA niggas, it's gonna sound real good. So
hell, that shit be pissing me off on the timeline, bro.
32.5 points, 8 rebounds, 9.5 assists. He shot 43.7% from the field, 33.6% from three. He had a 59.7 true shooting that month. In November for Cade, he averaged 31.5 points. Let me see. 7 rebounds, basically 6.8, 9.8 assists, so more assists, also basically a double-double. He shot better from the field, 47.7% from the field. He shot better from three, 34%, and had basically a 58 true shooting on much better defense. I think we all would agree that Cade's a much better defender than Luka Doncic. And then if you look at December, it's actually even worse for Luka because Luka shot, 29% from three in December? So, cool. Let me see. Mitchell. Damn, I want to get Jaylen Brown on my list, but I don't know who to take off. That's the problem.
Oh man. That you replace Maxey? I would have replaced Cade, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Cade is for sure a top 10 player this year.
I'm gonna give Cade a nod, but Curry, bro. I just double checked what Curry was doing. That nigga is
Curry's been wild,
his mind, bro. He been balling his mind.
Jaylen deserves to be on this list.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown, dude. I can't even hold you. I'm waiting for you to drop Giannis down because how many games he missed since you were just making a big
We are definitely getting to the Bucks.
I don't know why
Wemby. I don't know why Wemby on a minutes restriction, is top 5. That don't make sense to me.
He's playing the games. So
3, 4, 5.
I thought you said 20 minutes was like 20 minutes. Like you weren't a fan of 20 minutes,
Also, he's already missed. Giannis already missed 13 games so far this season.
Yeah.
3, 4.
Actually,
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 4. I take that back. 14. He's missed 14 games. So if you can miss 17 games is a threshold to miss for a whole season. He's already missed 14, and you're telling me you have Giannis that high up? That makes no sense. It's inconsistent. Real talk. You need to drop him. Matter of fact, he shouldn't be on. He shouldn't be on.
He definitely.
He no longer qualify based off of your logic.
He definitely missing 5 more games. He's definitely missing 5 more games, without a doubt in my mind.
So based off of your logic, real talk, he shouldn't even be on this fucking list.
Pack him up. Pack him up.
Right?
Get him up out of here.
You need to play games, right? You need to play games. You need to play games. That's the best.
So we were talking about all NBA teams. This is a best in the league right now list. Those are 2 different.
What? No. This is not a best of the league right now. That is not what I made my
You
list.
made all of this kerfuffle about playing games. Now all of a sudden, a nigga not playing games, and you gonna have him third?
No, he changed the criteria.
Shout out to the 790, man. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you turn that notification bell on.
And all you rider niggas in the chat, you get them real talk. You killing it real talk. You got it real talk. This nigga folding like laundry as soon as a nigga get pressed.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so this isn't an all NBA list. So, you know, for those in the chat that have common sense, shout out to y'all. So yeah, I'm cool with my list actually. I hate that Jaylen Brown isn't on it, but yeah, this is my list. I'm cool with this list.
Real talk, I hate your list, honestly. Off of your criteria, bro. I'm hearing I think this is the best this season. That's what it started off. Best this season. What are we doing?
Giannis shouldn't be up that high.
Giannis shouldn't be there, dog. Jokic should get packed up too.
Yeah, shit. He missing games too.
How should Jokic get packed up?
How many
He's
games
gonna miss?
Oh, put Jokic above Shea too, by the way.
Oh man.
This is something that this nigga love to push narrative. This nigga love to push narrative so bad. It don't make no sense.
So
bro.
Dex, so y'all have Cade higher than me. I'm not gonna lie. And I like Cade. I've actually been a fan of Cade for a while.
Cade has been nice. I can't hold you.
It's some shooting splits for me. I'm not a fan of some of his shot selection.
Same with me as well. And I told Real Talk that as well. I'm not that big of a fan of Cade as an offensive weapon, but he's still good though. He's still really, really good.
He's great. Yeah.
Look what he's over there playing with.
Playing with who?
Exactly.
Let's well,
that team.
Let's be careful.
Team number one.
Let's be careful because I think they're gonna give him some offensive help, and it ain't gonna look that nice when he's still not gonna look that good.
That's fine.
Yeah,
there goes the link. There goes the link that y'all can now hit. These are updated lists. KB wasn't here, so we just had Dub do his 10. These are the updated top 10 for so far this year. But hit that link if y'all want to come up and join and talk either the top 10 players of the NBA right now or the 65 game rule. You know what I'm saying?
Who's that?
This is the first person.
Is that Vecna? Do y'all know that? You guys don't know that? You guys don't watch Stranger Things? No freaking way. Oh, my bad.
No.
I heard the the ending.
Oh, Lo in the building. What's up, Lo? What's up, Real Talk? What's up, Doug?
What's up, sir?
What's up with you?
Big fan of y'all. So what the list is based on best in the world or just who's playing well right now? The top 10 guys is playing good right now.
Real Talk?
Real Talk?
Low is your list. It's your
all three of y'all got lists.
Mine is who's playing the best basketball so far this season.
I asked before I made my
Oh, my bad. I can get the list.
I asked before I made my ranking. I asked the room. I said, "What type of list is this?" I was told that this was who's best playing right now. So I said, "Cool, that's the list I'm going off of." Real talk. I don't know. He told me that in the beginning, and then all of a sudden he changed at the end. I don't know
how I changed.
It's basically like a power ranking. It's basically like a power ranking.
Oh, power ranking.
Yeah, it's a power ranking. Yeah, basically.
Okay.
But missed games should matter, correct?
It should, especially when you miss.
This game should matter. Absolutely.
14 games out of how much, though? 30?
Yeah.
35?
Giannis.
Ooh, yikes. He didn't even
Giannis is close.
Guess what?
Yeah.
He's Giannis. So
he is Giannis.
He is Giannis. Okay.
Real talk with that
so
one,
then shouldn't Luka be higher?
Giannis.
Shouldn't Luka be higher? Luka should be higher. Luka should be higher because he is Luka.
He should be. He should be number 2.
Luka should be top 4 because he's Luka.
How many games Luka missed?
I thought Real Talk was about to get help.
Like 4.
It doesn't. Who is Luka? Hey, yeah, you know this is what I would say. This is what I would say about Luka.
So nasty.
We're watching Luka now, right? You know what I'm saying? This is Luka. 24 previous, that was the Don. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fan of the Don. I'm not a huge fan of Luka. I'm not gonna lie. The Don is that guy. Luka, he top 10.
What happened to you?
I know. Real talk. I know. Low. I know why he got him. I know why he got him so low.
Go ahead, Ola. Go ahead.
The month of December, he shot like 20%. I think like 20%.
Oh, really?
He was terrible. He was terrible.
So I know why. He shot like 1 for 9 last night against the Grizzlies.
Where's your loyalty at though?
Well,
that's supposed to be a Laker fan. You feel me?
No, you don't.
But that's why Laker fans don't like. They don't like that he's shooting that terrible.
Typical.
Yeah, we don't like the shot selection.
Especially the defense.
The problem is, since the last time we did this video, Giannis has played a whopping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games. He's only played 6 games. And this nigga, he said, I'm not going to budge at all on Giannis. Wow. That's interesting, real talk. 6 games.
6 games of excellence, I guess.
Yeah.
This nigga is so
Wait, what do you want me to say, brother? It's
That's been their year
bro.
of identity crisis.
It's Giannis.
No, wait.
I'm going to be a hypocrite. I'll be a
real
hypocrite
talk.
for Giannis.
Hold on. Wait. So let's say if you're going to do another one of these lists, let's say in the middle of February, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let's say Giannis has missed 5 of the 5 games, or he's negates. He missed what? 4 games. Now he no longer qualifies for All NBA. Well, then you take him off the list.
But it's not an All NBA list.
Okay, but even if it's not, your whole argument is about the value of playing games. It's not too much to ask them to play games. They just need to play games. Then I asked you, who would you rather have? Jokic for 59 or Denny Avdia for?
And I said whoever qualifies for the
No,
award.
you said Denny, nigga.
Denny?
That's
For
nasty.
the award. And then
That's
obviously
Low and Dub is
when
nasty.
I said Denny, I smiled and we were joking and laughing at the time. But yes, whoever
I mean, you is kind of a
Denny.
Oh, my bad. Okay.
Now, Ohio.
So it seems like I won that one. Okay.
Hey, you know what? Hey, whatever lets you sleep better at night, my good brother. Whatever helps you sleep. Was there anything that you wanted to get into? Ohio.
Olo.
Ola.
You good though?
Olo, my
You
fault.
good though? Low knows me from FIF, but
Okay.
I was gonna say my list, but I might get crushed. But I'm gonna just say it. So, Jokic is number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Number 2 is Luka.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, yeah, it's nasty.
Wait,
Number
what's
3,
your list? Wait, what's your list though? Is it
Wait,
power rankings or is it overall?
Like power rankings
Okay.
right now.
You think Luka's having the second best season in the league right now?
It's close. I mean, you got Cade, you got Ant.
Wait, Cade and
They
Ant are
was
the
on.
3 of
Shit.
They're the
Wait.
three
What
in the
about
full spot?
SGA in
SGA. And
Hold on,
SGA might
hold on.
go. I pick back and forth between Shade and Luka. Sometimes I want to
Okay.
put Shade number 2.
Can you go in the order again? I got your top 2. It was Jokic and Luka. Can you start at 3?
Shea, and then Shea after him,
Okay.
and then Cade,
Mm-hmm.
and then Ant.
Yuck.
Şengün. I know
Whoa.
people don't like Şengün, but
You just-
no, I'm just trolling. Never mind. Not
Whoa.
Şengün. Not Şengün. Not Şengün. Not Şengün. I'm just fucking around. Maxi.
Maxey has 6.
Instead of Şengün, I'm put Maxi.
Okay.
And then-
Maxey has 6.
Jaylen Brown probably goes 7.
Okay.
Get this nigga out of here.
Mitchell.
Jokic and all the gods.
Okay.
I got Mitchell 8. 9th. Fuck. I don't know the last 2.
Did you not
Giannis?
Ant and Wemby? And
Okay, Giannis and Wait, let
He
me
said
go
and.
ahead.
He
Let me
said
go ahead and
and.
retry. Let me
He
go
said
ahead.
and at
He
five.
didn't say Wemby and Giannis yet.
He didn't say. He still said Giannis at 9, and now
That was just
But how many?
Jokic.
Hold on. How many games? How many games won't be missed?
we're doing the. You doing the
Oh, now you
games
doing
miss?
Yeah.
Hold up. Let's go to the games miss gimmick for
Because
Wemby.
if it's not
Yeah.
game miss, if I don't use that in my criteria, then Wemby would definitely be like top 3.
But
For sure.
Wemby's missed fewer games than Giannis has. He has
I feel
what,
like Lucas.
But that's
is-
why I didn't say those two guys' names yet, though.
Okay. Okay.
Oh,
So
okay,
you're taking
you're
Giannis
still-
back out.
Okay, you're
Yeah,
taking-
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So after that,
Okay,
then it's Giannis and then Wemby, or Wemby and then.
Wait, how many games has
Well,
Wemby missed?
I'm about to look it up right now. I keep trying to find them. I forgot they're the second seed in the fucking West. Jesus Christ.
But let's.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Spurs are going crazy. What if you didn't include them? Who would be those names then?
Then Jalen Brown and Jalen
Brunson?
Brown.
he's missed 13 games.
Yeah, some of those guys I named like 4 through 7 wouldn't be there if it wasn't
Yeah.
for the games
Cool.
missed. Then
No,
it
you're right.
would be Wemby, Giannis would definitely have spots. It would be probably the Jokic, Giannis, Shea, Wemby,
Did you say Steph?
Steph. Steph would be up there too, but he missed quite a few games too.
Mhm.
Luka
So
also
those guys would take over the list if it wasn't for games missed.
Luka missed quite a few games too.
He missed
He's
like
missed
No, he missed like
Yeah.
5, I think.
5 or 7.
7.
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
he's missed 1.
Hey, I appreciate you for being consistent and like someone else up
Yeah.
here.
I like it.
absolutely.
I don't think that's consistent.
Because healthy, those guys that I didn't name are playing better than the guys I named. Obviously,
Mm.
when they're
Okay.
healthy.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah.
I think his list is
Uh,
similar to ours. When you take Giannis and what's his name out?
No, Luka being 2 is crazy.
Yeah.
Drago,
Yeah, what's up?
what's
Gotta
up with
have
you?
the Laker
What did
bias.
you want to get into? Did you want to get into the rule?
I want to get into the 65 game rule. Yes.
Okay.
So I'm just one thing I think we all agree here. What Halliburton playing in the Olympics is stop.
Yes.
The thing is, when the NBA makes a rule, they have to just take that as fixed. They can't. We can criticize an NBA rule of 65 games and also criticize Halliburton for playing under that 65 games or playing in the Olympics. But if we evaluate the policy of 65 games, if you play this less than that, you can't make Supermax and you can't be all NBA because those things are tied together. You have to just evaluate that. You can't be like, oh, the unintended consequence of players playing when they shouldn't is still on the NBA and on the players, but it's on the policy. You made a policy that made people play when they shouldn't. That's a dumb policy. And my second point is the most important problem in the NBA right now is players being hurt in the playoffs. We're like every single year we can go the last 5-6 years, we're missing out on so much good playoff basketball because people are hurt. It's not okay they play 60 regular season games. I don't care. I want when we get to the playoffs. The most important thing is when the Nuggets play the OKC, I want all the players to be healthy and ready. How can we get to that? Maybe we need to play less games. That's what I'm a staunch advocate of, playing less games in the regular season. Maybe we need to do other things. I think that's the number one problem in being.
Are they going to be okay with not making as much money?
I not necessarily think it would make that much less money because you get other benefits from it.
But okay, so do you think the players will be okay with now making less money because there are less games?
No, not necessarily. But I'm saying that maybe they won't make less money because you can get more.
You trust and believe if there are less games, the owners will not be still having the same payout.
It's not going to change this. It wouldn't change the CBA rule of 50% goes to the players.
Yeah, but they would make, but the league would make less money if there's
yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
If you can't make it up in obviously the owners can make it up in non-basketball revenues from the extra days that they have the arenas available for those that own their own arena. Some of them don't. Yeah. And the other thing is, if a game is on 2 times a week, we saw it with the NBA Cup and we saw it with the Christmas days. When we have these marquee games, when we hype up these matchups, more people watch. There's more talk about it. We're more interested.
So let's get back to the players getting hurt in the playoffs point. Do you think so? of the players that got hurt, do you think they're getting hurt because of the 65 game rule?
I think a
Like
proportion
Jason
of them.
Tatum got hurt because of the 65 game rule?
No, not all of them. A few of them are. I think Embiid and Halliburton would be the two examples you could give. But I also think my overall arching problem is we need to do more policies that helps us get players healthy for the playoffs.
Yeah, but
That's-
so usually,
Drago's
the
cooking,
reason
man.
why that the best players usually have to play majority of the games for their team is so that their team is good enough to make the playoffs, right? Everybody isn't in a Kawhi Leonard situation where they can play 37 fucking games and still have a whole nother player drag the team to the playoffs and then blame that player because he doesn't show up in game 7 while Kawhi Leonard skates by yet again with no criticism. So what I'm saying is the reason why usually best players play is to have their team qualify to make the playoffs.
Yes, and I think the NBA should see this is happening, see this injury happening, and then they should see how can we need to play less games? Is that what we need? Do we need to put some sort of maximum on how many games one player can play? We need to save these teams and these players from themselves because we want to have the best product available when we get to money time in the playoffs. Like it had hurt so many. The Bucks Nets series had hurt. The Nuggets OKC last year, the Pacers, the finals game 7 got ruined because of a muscle injury that is very tied to overuse. And yes, it's not going to take away all the injuries. Yes, Nikola Jokic would probably still have been hurt this following week because someone landed on his ankle in unlucky ways. But maybe we can combat these more muscle injuries. There's also less, if you had less games, there's less chances for these stars to get hurt. Like, I know the overall thing is that people think it's less profit, but it's probably not that much less because there's a lot of economic benefits of having less games. You have more people watching. Like the current NBA business system is outdated. It's made for a time of flow television when everyone just sat at the TV and sat through the challenge and the Bulls game is on, so I'm going to watch a Bulls game. But now everyone plans the day. They're not going to sat. They're just going to go and watch Stranger Things or The Boys on Netflix. So it's just, I think the NBA, that's a different point. They need to evolve with the new streaming reality.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This man's cooking right here. I'm not gonna hold you. Because if you do think about it, so what makes the NFL game so valuable, right? There's not a lot of the games in the regular season. So it's always moments in time.
They just added an extra regular season game.
Yeah, so
it don't matter.
Like
it's 18 or 17
yeah,
to
but
82.
it does matter because it does matter when you take into consideration the probability of getting hurt in a basketball game and a football game are completely different. It's way higher in the NFL.
At the end of the day, you're just wrong. Real talk.
At the end of the day,
that's not how that works, brother. That's not how that works. But go ahead, say what you were saying, though.
Go ahead, Drago. No, I'm saying like I'm agreeing with Drago here a bit because I mean it's not about the injuries really right there. I'm talking about what he's talking about is basically like the importance of it, and then there's other ways where if they do shorten the season, right? There are other ways to make up for it. The importance of games in the regular season now, especially in a shortened season, it becomes more important. Like I was using the NFL as a comparison. There are games within the year that everyone wants to tune into because there's a game that can define a playoff spot. We don't see that a lot in basketball because there's so many games in the season. Now, I'm not saying that's gonna fix everything about it, but that is a positive that can happen.
I think we see that in the NBA Cup, like the semifinals. Everyone was watching the Thunder versus Spurs and the Magic versus Knicks. Everyone's watching the final, even though it's not even a regular season game. It doesn't count for anything. Just because we've scheduled one game between two good teams that are healthy.
And Victor played.
And it was fun. It's fun to watch. And the Christmas Day was awesome because we all looked forward to it. It was like NBA and Christmas Days. We got to watch that. But it's just trying to create these more special moments with like the Nuggets playing the Thunder in one of their 3 regular season matchups. Oh, I gotta watch that because it's It's Jokic versus SGA instead of just every night. It's the Kings versus whoever, and then spread out. You maybe the new model is you own Tuesdays and Saturdays, or you own Tuesdays and Fridays, or you do other things. But there's so much NBA all the time that people are not really interested in it until we get to the playoffs. But when we get to the playoffs, everyone's hurt because they play way too much. So we get a lot of muscle injuries, and I do think
Yeah,
like,
but having
No,
that
I'm
many
like, I'm
games
saying
and
Dag
having
in
that
agreement
much
with you. Like,
ad
yeah.
revenue and having that many tickets sold and all of that is how everybody's making this amount of money.
Yeah. If I can just chime in, of course, salute to the guys, salute fellas.
What's up, Tyson?
Good to see
up,
y'all all
Tyson?
together,
What
man,
up,
cooking.
Tyson?
Got
What
got
up?
got three
What
three of
up?
my my favorite favorite guys up here. You know what I'm saying?
What up, Tyson?
What up? Salute to y'all. I just don't know that shortening the NBA season would necessarily increase, interest per se. I think people will still want to tune into the playoffs. You're still going to have bad matchups, and that's not going to change. I just don't know. People are going to watch the teams they like, and they're going to watch marquee matchups. That's a given. But in lockout seasons or shortened seasons, did viewership go up? I don't think it did. You know what I'm saying? So if you're talking about reducing games to 50 games, which we've seen several
Why you
times, I
not
don't think that
and
affected
eyeing,
viewership.
Dub? Why you not
because he's
and
wrong.
eyeing,
The
Dub?
problem with these
I'm
shortened
letting-
season is
this
that
is
they're
the-
also
Let him finish. Jesus.
Oh, now it's
This is for Drago. Let Drago.
Yo, keep
Drago.
cooking,
let
Tyson.
Drago
Keep
go.
cooking, Tyson. Keep cooking.
So yeah. So the matchups are going to be the same. We're still going to have bad matchups. Shortened season, I don't think necessarily increases interest necessarily. Marquee games increase interest. I agree. Rivalries increase interest. Things of that nature. That's more the issue to me than necessarily the amount of games played. And as far as injuries, um, I would struggle to see a correlation between a lot of injuries and amount of games played. I just don't know if that's necessarily the case. We've seen Kawhi load manage through seasons and still get hurt in the playoffs. We see players not have injuries and all of a sudden get a sudden injury in the playoffs. It's just too many variables to say that would be consistent in keeping players healthy and increasing viewership, in my opinion.
So there's two problems here. The one of them is all in all these lockout and COVID seasons. The problem is the calendar is also compacted. So the issues become is the you actually have more games like right next to each other. What I'm proposing is you have the same length of season, but you just have fewer games. So you could have a game Tuesdays and Fridays, for example, instead of a game every day. So you kind of compact. You're spreading. You're having this fewer games in the same amount of time, whereas in lockout season you have less game, but also the time is way more compacted. There's probably more games in a week in the lockout and COVID seasons, especially it was 2021. In that season, the game was so compacted, and I think we saw that was probably the biggest injury season we have ever seen, in my opinion. In the playoffs, I noticed in the playoffs, every single team that made the divisional round had either their arguably best player or their second and third best player missed games. Like every team, all 8 of them. That's crazy. It's just also with the injuries correlating between the amount of games and injuries. There's 2 important factors here. One, we have the muscle injuries. You can go look on Google Scholar and just type in muscle injury and load management. Like the more you use your muscles, when you get above a certain threshold, you'll get more injured. That's how it is. The second important factor is the more games you play, the more chances there are of these freak Jokic injuries. That isn't due to load. It's just due to someone stepping on his foot. But if it happens in the regular season, sorry my French, but who the fuck cares? I don't care what Jokic does in the regular season. Frankly, I want to watch him play Shea in the playoffs. Like if I could choose to not watch the regular season at all and just be blind for 4 months, and then all of my star players are healthy, all the star players are healthy for the regular season, everyone here would choose that because that's what we want to watch.
No.
You want to watch these teams, these great teams, play each other in a 7-game series where they get to game plan each other. That's what's important with the NBA. That's what we all like. But it's just hurting the game with all these injuries. And it's not because the players are soft. It's not because they're doing anything wrong. It's just because the game is really hard right now. There's a lot of cutting. There's a lot of freeze. There's a lot of move in space. Running. Pace is higher, more intention. We saw even the pace is great strategy. There's just running and
y'all be gassing
your weakness.
Yeah.
Nobody interrupt Tyson.
What?
Nobody
You
interrupt
interrupted Tyson.
Tyson wasn't talking this long. But I'll say this: like, yeah, is there more movement in today's game? Yeah, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Can't even deny that fact. But I will say this as well: like times where we discredit a lot of these older players' stats as well, like a Wilt or even the 70s and stuff like that, because we do acknowledge they were playing at a frantic pace in the 60s and 70s as well. Then when you also tie into worse training, worse equipment, worse technology.
Bro,
it's still
those games? You watch those games?
Yes, they're
bro. They're literally it's literally just track and field with a ball. It's nowhere near. It's literally what
I don't discredit
because once they get to the half court though, they're not moving.
It's kind of
they're just chilling. It's literally track and field. They're running back and forth. That's it. That's all they're doing. They're not doing
a lot.
No,
I also want to say one thing. Just the guy.
That does take a lot of stamina, though.
If I could say one thing quick, the reason that players that load manage get hurt a lot is because you the Kawhis and Embiid you want to load manage. They're already hurt. It's the same as if you go up a hill with your car. You press harder on the speeder, but you don't go faster because guess what? You press harder because you're going uphill. It's like you're adjusting your load management to the injured players. So of course, if the people you're really load managing is Embiid and Kawhi, and you're also getting older players in because you're keeping them more healthy, you're going to get more injuries through that. Like that's just kind of a common sense of it.
Common sense.
And even then, like to go back to what I was saying before about the 60s, right? Like this, like I'm running back and forth. That's literally what they're doing. As soon as the half court set, Wilt's just chilling at the paint because at that time there wasn't really a 3-second rule. No one's really having no motion because a lot of these guys don't respect the 3-point line because there's no 3-point line at all, right? They're all chilling in the paint. That's very much easier to do rather than you guys having guys running up and down the court and also covering the 3-point line. They have to see, bro, you having to stop on the dime as a defender, stop on the dime, sit here, and then need to adjust your speed backwards.
When's the last time you ran for 2 hours full speed in a pair of Chuck Taylors?
They're not running full speed though.
Now they're not running.
Thank you.
Hey, they still had Chuck Taylors.
How did you know that?
No, we're not going to say that the 60s and the 2000s. Right, right now, it's a very different game. We all agree.
But think about the science of it. The amount of stress you're putting on. Think about it. When you stop 60%, but compared to when you're stopping 90 to like 100%, it's completely different pressures on your knee and even your ankle. It's completely different. That's what I'm saying.
Completely different.
How much pressure is on your knees and ankles when you're running in Chuck Taylors?
How they not running?
I'm not gonna lie, real talk. Coming from somebody that was doing a bunch of 2-mile runs and 3-mile runs off of wrestling shoes with a lot of ankle support, you can do that pretty easily.
Yeah, you said 2-3-mile runs. You weren't.
Yeah, you don't know nothing about that. You don't know about that.
It's all flat. It's perfectly fine. You will be perfectly fine. You're not gonna sit here and destroy your ankle.
You weren't playing basketball.
The real question is,
basketball was them running in one direction.
When the last time you were doing that?
Running and run
real talk, when the last time you did that?
Low, you're so bored.
Man, I was just hooping the other day. What was you doing, real talk?
Top tier instigator, Low.
You was watching niggas.
I definitely was not watching niggas.
Low and Mars are top tier instigators.
I'm about to say, Low was channeling some sick, nasty stuff right now.
I don't comment on stuff like that because I'm fat, so niggas. I don't know nothing about nobody run up and down the floor for 2 hours.
I'm 44. Yeah, we don't do that, low. We ain't running nowhere for 2.5 hours, man.
Yeah, we
I run
don't.
to the grocery store, pick up some milk and eggs. That's what
People in soccer. I mean, soccer. You could use an example. People in soccer don't have this many issues with injuries, mainly because they run far more. They run far more. No, it's all
they
about.
don't get no break.
They're smaller.
They run
They know
far
4
more than
quarters. They
everybody,
run
but
straight
they don't
for
have
hours.
that much injury. Why is that? It's because of the circumstance that they're putting their body in. They're not in circumstances where they have to consistently contest the 3-point line. Then they sit here and they do pump fake and drive, and now you need to reverse backwards. He goes up, and you're trying to jump up with trying to block the ball, and you maybe land on your ankle wrong. They never go through any of that.
As somebody who plays soccer,
I'm just sorry.
Smaller human beings, it's not as much torque in put on your body when you're changing direction.
No, they're just not. They're not in the same type of position.
Supposed to somebody that's 6'8", 230 doing that.
Exactly.
It's just two different.
Got a point. There.
They barely do any of this. They barely do.
No, it's easy for you to move around being 5'6", then
but it's harder for somebody that's taller.
8'9". It just is. It's scientific. It's
But does that go for you too? Does that go for you too, real talk?
Yes, it goes for me as well. Yes.
Yeah,
Anthony Davis.
You 5'8".
I'm 5'10".
Real talk. I promise you, it's all about the positions that they're in, apart from the size of the actual players. The soccer players are not and nowhere near the same positions as NBA players. They're not jumping at the same time consistently every now and then, but consistently jumping at the same time with other bodies.
But a lot of these players aren't even getting hurt when they're jumping.
But
exactly.
What?
I don't even make sense.
The players that we just mentioned were not hurt due to jumping.
Jokic landed on somebody's ankle.
No,
he did.
He didn't. Somebody stepped on him.
Oh, someone stepped on him. Well, what about Kawhi? Who got hurt in the playoffs? Zaza Pachulia, off of a jump, off of a shot.
No. Talk about the last playoffs. You were just gassing that. Okay, did Tyrese get hurt because he was jumping?
You on man, God,
that's a jump shot. That's a jump shot.
Did Tyrese get hurt because of jumping? No.
That's a
did Dame get hurt because of jumping?
It's a jump. It's a jump shot. Right? It's a jump shot, right?
None of that.
He was just
shooting a jump shot.
It is. It's
a jump shot.
Shooting when they got hurt. They were making a step.
I'll be honest with you. I don't know how those niggas' bodies work. I'm not an athlete to make that determination, especially at that level. All I know is that at the end of the day, bro, like, I think we have to take into consideration just activity, all the activity they're putting on their body, period. And bro, if the end goal is for them to like be healthy and available, I don't like taxing them to play a certain amount of games. I just think it's just odd. I just think it's odd, bro.
Not right, facts. You just don't play the games, but still.
Then take Giannis off your list, then, nigga.
No, Jeremiah, what's up? Jeremiah, what's up with you?
Can y'all hear me?
What's up?
Yeah, we can hear you.
What was it that you wanted to get into?
I wanted to get into why no Cade on your list, Dub.
Oh, I kind of mentioned it a little bit. The shooting splits is like, and not even just the shooting splits. Like when I watch Cade play a lot of times, it annoys me because I think he plays too lax sometimes, which I think he could be a bit more aggressive. But then it's weird because I don't think he really knows how to handle like physicality properly. It's like he's always like it's like Kyrie. He which a hooper. He's like a real hooper. Like he avoids the contact, and then him not being as, I guess you could say, aggressive enough definitely hurts like with his finishing and even like his finishing through shots. So that right there kind of like messes with me a little bit, So I'm not too much fan of the shot selection and scoring with him. But I mean everything else. I mean he's a solid defender, great passer. He's a great all-around player. It's just his scoring for me definitely it rubs me off the wrong way. I'm going to be honest.
You had Maxey over
scoring
him.
Doesn't rub you the wrong way.
You had Maxey over him, right?
Yeah. Well, when Maxey and Curry,
camera on football.
Maxey and Curry for me is like.
Thank you.
When you have guys like that can sit here and like, bro, those shots they be taking is crazy. Like. They changed the game. You feel me? So like with Maxey, with guys like Maxey and Curry and their ability to go on crazy runs, especially with their shooting, that right there impacts the game on a crazy level, which is why I would have them over.
So Cade's playmaking, which is better than Maxey's, Cade's defense, which is better than Maxey's. That doesn't add into the equation at all.
When you got a game changer like that, dog, I've changed my opinion. I've changed my stances on a lot. When you got game breaking like ability like that, that's so hard to replicate. I gotta side with them. Now I think Cade is probably like right under them, so it's not like
using
the
low 10 gimmick.
No, it's not the low 10. It's just a game breaking ability like that. Like even though somebody could provide more value in the game, right, on different levels, when you have somebody that could just change a game like that, like a Curry and a Maxey, I gotta side with that more.
You think Maxey is shifting games like that?
Bro, that shooting he be doing is crazy. I'm sorry, not as
His
much as
shooting
Curry.
isn't really like.
Dub,
he's a great shooter, but it's not like game changing. As opposed
where'd
to
you have where'd you have Cade?
Cade is probably like 11, 12.
Gotcha.
And then it was Maxey and Curry were like 8 and 9 or 10, one of those.
I can see that. I mean, there's a lot of good players in the league, so Cade being
I mean, they're not like even though they're not on the list, like I don't think like if someone said Cade is better than those guys, I wouldn't be like, nah, I get it.
Right. You got them, so you got them like a similar tier, is what you're saying.
Yeah, right. They're literally right there with right there. I just had to pick a number, you feel me? And then of course, again, when we go with the performance of everything and the numbers, I'm just gonna, I'll just go with Maxey for this season, I mean, he's dropping.
Maxey is cooking.
I got a quick question. How long does Kawhi have to keep on this similar pace to get back inserted into you guys' top 10?
That is a good question.
Hey, he looking like 2019 Kawhi right now.
Until he plays a full season, dog.
I'm about to say that nigga just does it in spurts.
Well, I'm just talking about right now power rankings, y'all, including the history of Kawhi. I'm just talking about right now power rankings. You know what I'm saying? When other people have been hurt and getting praise, Kawhi's missed 12 games, 13 games, similar to some of the people you've been praising.
Hey Tyson, and guess what? He about to take another 2 weeks off, dog. Like, I'm not he about to take another 2 weeks off. I'm good.
Can I get an honest answer from a objective person?
I'll answer. If Kawhi Leonard finishes the season, now obviously he's not going to play to this level.
Right. He's on a crazy run right now, but something similar,
If he's averaging like 28 plus the rest of the year on great efficiency.
Efficiency is crazy right now.
It's still not enough.
Yeah.
It's still not enough for you, Lo, to get in the top 10?
Wait, how?
It's like every nigga we just put in there averaging 28.
Not on great.
Well, maybe not K. Like,
wait, where do most people have
Jaylen Brown has actually been.
I had Jaylen Brown, like, I think 6 on my list.
Yeah, bro. Like, averaging 28 on good efficiency is just not enough.
Low, you don't think if Kawhi Leonard finishes the season playing around this level of player, he's not going to be a top 10 player?
This level of player is more than 28 points per game.
No, it would be more like 30. It would be more like 30.
What he's doing over the past like 5-7,
it's crazy.
It's more than 28.
Yeah, he's averaging 40.
A lot more. That nigga dropped a double nickel. He dropped a 45 piece.
Yeah. He averaged 40 over that
I'm surprised.
And I'm not saying he's gonna keep that going. Oh, go ahead, my boy.
No, you go. I missed him. I'm surprised a lot of y'all didn't have. Did you guys have Durant on your list?
That's another thing I'm talking about, bro. Just averaging a lot of points on good efficiency is not enough to crack the top 10 because
fair enough.
Is also a really good.
I'm about to say.
Don't shortchange KD, bro.
What about defense? You don't include that in the equation, Lo?
Well, defense doesn't get valued anymore. So
I'm telling you, y'all just like
some guys are the exception to the rule. Real talk.
You put Jokic number 1. Let's stop.
I'm about to say.
Yeah, if you put Jokic number 1,
you can't put Jokic.
Because I'm just going with y'all. What y'all go with?
I got Shea number 1.
Guys like
Shea number 1.
Luka
Disgusting.
and Steph are the exception to the rule.
Yeah, Lucas.
I got Shea number 1. I value defense, brother. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you for being consistent. Like someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone
You
else.
You don't think
Someone
Giannis
up
is?
here,
You think
disregarded
Shea's
Lo,
better?
bring the list back up, Lo. Bring
disregarding
the list back up.
defense. He's disregarding everything.
Y'all genuinely think Shea's better than Luka? Or not Luka? Shea's better than Giannis?
I know it was still up here, man.
Yeah, he's been better.
Well, he's
Yeah, that's not even. That's not even.
I mean,
Okay,
I think
look.
Giannis is better, but this
Hey,
year, Shea
Hey,
is
put
better.
Shea back in my number one.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
Oh man.
This nigga got
Yeah.
pressure. No, I'm not changing it. That's it.
And also,
yeah, make him stand on that. Make
Yeah,
him
you
and
stand
gotta
on
stand on
also, no. Put Shea number one and
Nah,
take
nah,
Giannis off and put KD on there.
I just
No.
Wait, nobody has Brown.
I just got a quick
on the list
question.
except Low.
I got Brown. I got James.
Yeah, Brown
I
should
just
be.
got a quick
Lowe's
question.
the only
You
one
guys,
who's respecting
Oh, go
Jalen
ahead.
Brown on here. Lowe's the only
Yeah.
person respecting Jalen
Yeah,
Brown.
I
Brown
got
be better than
JB.
yeah,
Tatum.
Brown been hooping.
Dang,
I mean, he
gave-
still ain't better than Tatum,
My
but
bad.
Yeah.
My bad. Go ahead.
Brown been hooping.
He
I
don't
think
have to be
he
better than
deserves some
Tatum.
top 10 love for sure.
I just had to throw that out there because some
you-
people think he's better than
Oh
Tatum.
yeah. I agree with that. Although.
You
He's
think
not.
Mitchell's been? Who thinks Mitchell's been better than Jalen Brown this year?
He has. He has been better.
Yeah,
I don't.
Yeah. He's been better.
Oh damn!
Yeah.
Just me and
I don't know, bro.
So it's just me and football breakdown.
Yeah, they're playing like right next to each other.
Right next to each other. I give you that.
I
But
mean, yeah,
Jalen's
it's
been
close.
really
It's close,
hooping.
but I think Brown is a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's close. I'll give
by
Donovan
by
Mitchell a
hair.
nod.
It's by hair.
Yeah, I give Donovan Mitchell a nod.
Ooh.
Dale, what was it that you wanted to talk about? I saw you in the chat earlier.
Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about that 65 game rule thing because I see a lot of people complaining about it. I actually think the 65 game rule is a good thing because you have to put some type of stipulations onto this stuff. And what I really think what people are missing the boat on with the 65 game rule thing is it's gonna have to force people to actually evaluate the game and evaluate players on their own because all they do is who made all NBA team, who made MVP, who made this, who made that, instead of saying, oh, this player is better because of this, because of that, because how they perform under these circumstances, how they perform with no space, with a creator, without a creator, in half court, in transition. You got to actually do that.
Yeah,
now.
Low,
And there's
evaluate the players independently, nigga.
Hold on, wait. I'm trying to hear how does this do that? I'm kind of
because now you can't just if a player misses because of 65 game rule, you can't just insert whatever all NBA team they made that year and be like, oh, this player was better because of that year. Because there's a lot of players that won MVPs and a lot of players that didn't win MVPs that you will never put over another player. Like
you
Steve Nash. Like Steve Nash. There's a lot of players.
No.
Steve Nash, he's not over a Kawhi Leonard to me. He's not.
What?
Even though he won.
I mean, he has a case. He has a case, though.
He's not.
He has a case.
They're not even the same type of player.
He was these
Bro,
2
I want to
seasons.
hear this.
He was
I
these
want
2
to hear
seasons.
this.
He's not.
I want to hear this.
He's not.
Yeah, I want to hear it.
But
He has a case,
I
though.
want to be clear.
Steve Nash does not have a fucking case being better than Kawhi Leonard. Go ahead, Low.
He does not. Oh,
Thank you,
God.
Hutu Zo7.
But the premise of what
What did he say?
I'm
What did he say?
providing would be in line with these players
Thank you.
being great. So we wouldn't even have to have an ongoing dialogue. The person who is better than the other person would make the fucking list. If anything, this would make it even more difficult to identify this.
Yep.
No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. Because it's a lot of people. It's a lot of people who downplay Kobe because he has one MVP.
What?
It's a lot of people who
is true.
downplay
That is
Kobe
true.
because he has one
I
MVP.
get that. I get that.
When it was players winning MVPs in his era who was not better than him.
Well, why do we
He
have to
also-
listen to those dumb people?
No.
I get that, but this would make it more difficult because now effectively, instead of Jokic having some form of representation on an All NBA list,
I'm not saying
if he's
discredit
not
it
there,
all the way. I'm saying you can't just use that as it's like people are now discrediting all defensive teams. I never heard people ever in life discredit all defensive teams.
But doesn't this make it more difficult? Doesn't this do that even more? This doesn't
Worse.
even more.
Delsky, you're proving Lowe's point. You're proving Lowe's point, Delsky. Delsky, let me tell you what. Delsky, no.
Flawed on both ends. That's what I'm saying.
No, Delsky, but the thing is, if you had to choose two, right? But the way it was before is better. Because let me tell you why. All NBA essentially is used to represent. It's just a very surface level way of looking at an era and being like, these are the best players of their era, right? If we implement this 65 game rule, the All NBA teams will be less representative of the best players in the era than the prior model that didn't have the 65 game rule. Because now we're going to have a year where possibly 5 of the 6 best players don't make any All NBA team. Just because of a stupid 65 game rule, and that's not going to be the All NBA team is not going to be representative of the best players of that year, of that era. So you're going to tell me Brunson and some other guys, just because they're carrying a lesser load, are not going to make the All NBA teams over guys like Jokic, Giannis, and Wemby because they played 60 games instead of 65? Come on, dog! Like that's ridiculous.
I'm not an award merchant. I don't go off of awards. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying it's a lot of years where Kawhi Leonard wasn't making all NBA teams, even though he was better. I don't care if he played 13 games.
You're talking about guys that playing 4 games.
That's my argument. That is my argument.
That's horrible to me.
I'm sorry. That is literally my argument. That it does not matter if he only plays 50 or 60 games, he can still be better than another nigga who made more.
But
games.
he doesn't deserve all the NBA, regardless, though.
No, but the thing is, you're saying he doesn't deserve all NBA because of an arbitrary rule that was just created.
Hold on.
I don't even necessarily disagree with like having a stipulation. I just think the game level is too high. If it was like 50, 55 games, something more reasonable,
17 games,
cool. But like, dog, 60 games is how many games in the season? So if I get injured one time, now I'm just
65 is 17 games missed.
17.
Yeah, bro, that's too high.
I mean, damn, 65 games, you already get to miss 17.
17 is a lot of games.
If you go to 60, you get to miss 22 games. That is a lot of games.
I personally don't think it should just be left up to the voters if they determine.
Me too.
Behind it. That's it. That's just it.
But it's still players play less games than other players. They're better than the players that make All NBA.
That's fine if they're better. That's
point. That is my
I'm saying they should not matter. But if you want to make an All NBA team, you should be encapsulating just that season. If you wasn't there for 65 games, you shouldn't get an award.
Nah.
No.
Wait.
Now the people who was actually watching the games can tell you who was actually the better player and who was this better than this player, who was better than that player. Because we don't do that with anything else. We just want an All NBA. Okay, why don't when players get hurt in the finals, we stop that bitch for 3 months and wait till everybody
Delsky.
You just say you don't care about how many games Kawhi plays.
Let me
ask
you a question. Because
what?
It's about that season.
No, he's not cooking. Low. Real talk. He's not cooking. He's not cooking.
No, he's not
cooking water.
He didn't move.
He's cooking broccoli.
So in 2023,
cooking broccoli.
This is bad.
Should Kawhi have made? Well, in 2023, should Kawhi have made an All NBA team?
No.
Huh?
Yeah.
Did he make it in? Why did he not make it? He didn't play enough games.
He played 50.
This is real. Yeah, 52.
No, he didn't play enough games.
Why not?
Okay.
Why not?
He didn't play enough games.
But
That's
did he deserve to be there?
Who's better between him or Julius Randle?
Kawhi Leonard.
Okay, so if you believe that he's better,
That's about the season. The award is about
in that season. Who's better? In that season, who's better?
Who provided more value?
Huh?
Kawhi's better.
Okay, so in that season, if he's better, so in that season, he should receive the award.
It doesn't matter about 65.
The season should matter. I'm saying the season should matter. What you encapsulate in one season is the All NBA. That should matter. By the end of the season, the people who was actually there watching the game should tell you who is better or not.
That's why I asked a question.
You don't get to get on board and not show up.
No, wait. One more scenario. Let me go.
Okay.
No.
Please.
Okay. So let's say someone misses 2 weeks because of a small injury, right?
Okay.
And but their team. Listen, Jokic. Let's say Jokic misses 2 weeks because of
17 games in 2 weeks.
20
No,
games.
listen. This is a scenario. They missed 2 weeks because of an injury earlier in the season, right?
Okay.
But when he comes back, he picks up where he left off, and their team is the 1 seed, and they're so far ahead that they can afford to sit him at the end of the season. But With him sitting at the end of the season, he misses the 65 game threshold. Are you going to not put him on an All NBA team?
17 games because of 2 weeks.
All right, you're not hearing what I'm saying. You're not hearing what
it doesn't make sense. That's why, because it doesn't make sense.
He said he got hurt early on, and in the end of the season, they were so far ahead that he sat him even more games. So at that point, he then missed this. He didn't play enough.
The threshold.
You know why that is a makeshift scenario? You know
Because
why
you should be playing.
Okay,
No,
let's
wait,
use.
wait,
Can I
time
use an example?
But they did that for Kobe and Duncan in their careers.
You know why that scenario doesn't make sense? Because their team wouldn't be that far ahead if Jokic isn't playing.
That's not. You don't know that.
You don't know that. I do know that. The Nuggets wouldn't be way ahead.
I'm not talking about this construct. No, you're not here. No. I'm not talking about this. No. I'm not talking about this.
Didn't they do that for Kobe in 2010? He sat like the last 5 games of the season because they were so far ahead.
5 games.
Okay, how many games did he play?
5 games.
He played 70 or 70.
Okay, so the Lakers aren't that far ahead to begin with. If Kobe,
so if he made 6 games because of injury, oh man, this.
So how about this? Let's bring up.
Wait,
My
hold on. Let me say this too, Dove. But if you're saying that Nikola Jokic only is missing through that period, like 5 or 6 games, and then they get to the end of the season and they have like a 5-game gap, and he sits out the last 5-6 games, he still qualifies to make All NBA because that's only like 11, 12 missed games.
So what if he's sitting out back? Oh, this is nasty.
So all the fucking games.
Can I go?
Yeah, go ahead, Yamar. Go ahead.
No, wait, because something happened though. Something no one picked up on it. I'm gonna say because Drewski, what's your name? Delsky. Low asked him. He said, okay, was Kawhi Leonard better than Julius Randle? He said Kawhi Leonard was better, even though he played 50-something games.
Yes.
Now, Kawhi Leonard himself didn't make that All-NBA team, mainly because he didn't. The voters who voted was like he didn't play enough games for that, so he didn't get that. Now, Delsky's defending that, saying like, no, Kawhi was better than Julius Randle. He didn't deserve that. Well, with the 65-game rule, Jokic, for example, let's say if he misses 20 games, a guy where we should all agree should make an All-NBA team, he therefore will not make an All-NBA team because of this rule. Now, to your point that you said, well, this forces people to really watch the games and everything, and this 65 game really forces that. I don't understand the connection you're making with that, because you had the connection with Kawhi Leonard where you're like, he was better. Well, this rule that we have in place right here is going to make in scenarios like that even worse, because you're going to have people make All-NBAs that shouldn't even be making it. Someone's going to get Jokic's All-NBA spot that shouldn't even be there.
And you missed my whole point entirely, because I said from the beginning, this is going to force people to actually evaluate the players and stop talking about he made this many All-NBA.
No, it won't. What does that have to do with evaluation?
Who's better?
What does that have to do? What does that have to do with evaluation?
Because a lot of people, when they rank players, how many All-NBA teams make? How many All-Defensive?
Delsky, let
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Let's
They want to just tell you All-NBA. That's what I'm saying.
Delsky, my question is, so is your point actually that because the 65-game rule screws up the picture so much that Jokic will not make an All-NBA team and then maybe Austin Reeves will make it? It forces people to actually watch the games because it makes the All-NBA team so unreliable that people can no longer use it as an argument. That's your point, right?
I'm saying every season, every game is an encapsulation of itself.
Yes.
You need to stop trying to just. So what?
You're saying it forces people to watch the games and not just rely on some award, because you can't rely on that award anymore. It's not a good award. It's not a good reliable indicator for who's the best player.
Exactly.
Yes. So I think that's everyone here's point is we want a good reliable award that tells that is a
on both
that's
on both ends of the spectrum.
So you're arguing for why it shouldn't be. Like you're saying it screws.
Honestly, what I'm hearing, Delsky, is let's allow this bogus rule in play so that people could just sit here and watch the games more, because we know it's a bogus rule.
But we know that
have to watch
that's not going to happen.
And we don't want to screw up the award.
Why not have the other? Okay, I would say this, and then why not just have the people who the responsibility to have the accurate representation of what occurred in the NBA to give an assessment based off of what they thought, because it doesn't matter if Jokic misses 15 or 17 games, he is still going to be a better player than Deni Avdija. He just is. So why not just have there be some form of representation?
I mean, if that's the case, then we know that Jokic is better than Deni Avdija if he doesn't play basketball that season.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Right, right.
That
That's my point.
That point
Okay.
really
That's the point I'm trying to make.
that
So
is not
you
the
think
qualifier
you
for-
it's not a best player award.
Wait. That is not the qualifier for making an award or a team for that specific season. That you're better than him. Like we know,
Right.
we know
Exactly.
that Jokic is better than
but if
Deni
you
Avdija.
play-
All right. If Jokic plays 64 games and Deni Avdija plays 70 games for that season, who was better?
And I'm saying that it should be 60 games anyway, and not 65.
No,
So,
no, no,
Jokic
no,
is
no,
better
no,
than
no,
Deni
no,
Avdija.
Answer
Real
the
talk.
question.
You're
Answer the
making it-
question. For
You're
that
arguing points that don't
season,
matter, bro.
for that season, if Jokic plays 64 and Deni Avdija plays 70, who was better for that season?
Jokic.
Okay.
No, that's fair, and there's pros and cons to it. Obviously, it's not perfect. We understand that. I get your point, low, and it's very valid. Yes, Jokic is still a better player for that season. I think he still has more value to his team by any metrics. Jokic is better, so that's the flaw in the system. We understand that, but
everything then.
what's that?
But
Why
what
don't
I'm
we
saying
do that
is
for everything?
that
What
would
if-
still
what
be the case for Jokic if Jokic played 30 games.
But that's not. If Jokic played 30 games,
Why don't
but
we
here's
do
the
that
thing.
for everything?
But no, I got him. Got him.
Yeah.
If this rule didn't exist, right, and Jokic played 30 games, savvy voters would take that into account anyway and would dock him without needing the 65 game rule threshold. That's why the rule is stupid. The cons are way worse with the rule than without it, in my opinion, because it'll be less representative of the best players.
No
Can
rules then.
I just want to ask
Everybody
you.
said
Damo, go ahead,
But what about the kind of? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Hold on. Go ahead.
Hello, Dama.
My fault.
You're muted.
You're muted. Yeah, you're muted.
I'm sorry. Hello, everybody. Hello, everyone.
Happy New
late
Year,
to the
G.
party.
I don't know.
Happy New Year's. Hope you had a great holidays. All that. I just want to ask. I'm hearing everybody bitch and moan about the 65 game rule, which was implemented to stop load management. For real. Let me ask, what is an all NBA player? What is an all NBA player supposed to be?
One of the best players in the season.
So it's supposed to be
One of the best players.
A
One of the
representation of someone who had
a
so a representation of someone who had a great season, correct? Okay.
Yeah.
With the 65 game rule, you have someone like Jokic who hypothetically won't make the cut. Now he's not an all NBA player, so someone else has to replace him. My question is this. If that player is still having one of the better seasons in the NBA, what are we fucking bitching for? Yes, we know Jokic is a better player. We know awards are subjective. But if someone who is having a career year, someone is still putting up 28, 8 and 8, someone's still putting up 39 and 5, I'm just throwing up hypothetical numbers, whatever it is.
Yeah.
If that is a player that ends up making the All NBA instead of Jokic, what the fuck are we bitching about? It's not like we have Richard Jefferson who's averaging 24 points a game or someone clearly who shouldn't be up here. They make the cut. If Jokic doesn't make it, he will just be replaced by another player who is still having a phenomenal year. So again, what are we bitching about?
I can answer that
Because
question. I can answer that question just
This is
quickly.
how
Let me
basketball
force one you to see
It's
if
tied
you
to
gonna
contract, by the way. That's the nasty thing.
It's two.
Yeah,
No,
so
we get contract.
Yeah, go ahead and cook, Lo.
Two things. A,
I can't remember.
I personally believe that it should be just the top 15 players.
Yeah,
but if you believe that the All NBA selection is going to replace by someone else who makes an All NBA team, All NBA selection or All NBA caliber player, the problem is that theory may work this year, maybe next year, but there will be a year because that's effectively how we got to this point anyway, with no positions for not only All NBA and All Stars as well. there will be a point where that won't happen. And then we'll have someone who's an odd man out making an all-NBA selection. We all know that that player or two should not make it. That's the reason why we changed it, because Ilgauskas and them was making all-star teams, and we know those niggas was not good enough to be on an all-star team. While Yao Ming is making an all-NBA selection, and he was not good enough to make an all-NBA selection, so we changed it from position. So it may be that way to this year, but eventually there will be a point where it won't happen that way.
To me, that's not a fair correlation. Real quick, that's not a fair correlation only because it's first team, second team, third team. It's not just all-star. So when Jokic vacates a first team spot, somebody is not jumping from not making the third team to going to first team, right? We have a fringe player that's barely missed that spot in the second and on the second team that goes to the first team, and then it goes down from there. It's not just a blanket all-star team.
There's no bingo to that. Because there's about to be borderline there's like 4 or 5 people that might not make it this year. So if Giannis doesn't make it, and then Jokic doesn't make it, and then Wemby doesn't make it, and that's 3 right there. Those are 3 players that are first team. If everybody got pushed down, that does mean that there's a possibility.
That means it's going to be a few iffy names on third team All NBA. Who gives a fuck?
Listen to what I'm saying.
I'm listening to what you're saying.
Stop. If all of them are healthy and playing, if they had played, there's a possibility that there is a player in the first team that would not be first team, that he more than likely would have been third team, because there's 3 or 4 names that are now missed. Niggas, the nigga that was on the third team might now get pushed up to second or first because there's 3 or 4 people gone.
Just second. Chill, nigga.
And to Lowe's point,
the first team.
No, but to Tyson is okay. So let's, instead of being theoretical,
but is that
players? We can just use players.
Why does it matter?
So to Damos, because I also agree with this point that Damos making, like the fact that, like, oh my God, Jaylen Brown may make first team All NBA this year. But yes, if you just look at his season in a vacuum, he is playing like a first team, second team, All NBA caliber player right now. It is unfortunate that Wemby and Giannis and Jokic and them might miss it, absolutely. But Jaylen Brown is playing to that level. So to me, it's not going to be like some sad case if Jaylen Brown averaging 36-6 and leading the Celtics to being one of the better teams in the East.
Also,
nobody suspected that, by the way. If he ends up first team on NBA.
He did.
I don't even mind the rule. I just think the name of games is too high.
Let me just say this too. Let me just say this too.
No matter what the rule is, somebody gonna complain, bro.
All I'm saying is, Low, the way you make your team is okay. Bet the top 15 players at the end of the year, cool. Let's say Jokic, Giannis, Wemby, they make up 3 people that are top 6. 3 of the top 6 or whatever. Maybe. You're making it seem like now that those 3 people, that 3 of the top 6 are out, the person that was 12 through 15 is now going to replace them. That is not how it's going to go. I promise you, that is not how it's going to end up.
What do you mean?
The way you're making it seem, again, it's 3 teams,
who is on the
top 15 people. I'm about to say the people that are hanging on the fringe just making third team are not going to get pushed up to the first or second team because those 3 players missed it. That is not how it's going to work.
Because you're only going to move them up 3 to 4 spots. But I think the bigger problem for everyone here is Jokic not making it. That's the injustice.
Oh well, nigga.
Okay, he didn't say
Steph might not make it either.
I'm not worried about that. Lo, what I'm saying is, what is going to happen? The first team is going to be thin because those 3 players are first teamers. It seems first team's going to look thin. There's going to be multiple second team All NBA players that are going to get first team. There are going to be the top end of the third team is going to make second team. There is no way guys that are barely making third team are going to be second to first team All NBA players. Whatever year you're talking about, even if it's not this year or the next year, whatever year it is, I don't believe that's going to be the case. We're not going to have a situation like that again.
We're not going to have Austin Reeves on the first team. Like that's.
He's playing.
That's not what Lowe's saying though. Lowe's saying that everyone's getting bumped up to a spot that they probably just
Don't
shouldn't be
deserve.
in, right? It don't matter the scale of it, right? Lowe's not saying the guy who's just barely making it is now all of a sudden going to
Well,
jump.
that's how
He's
he made it
saying
seem. At least
those-
to me.
those guys-
Do you think Şengün? What do you think Şengün should at so far? Do you think he should be on All NBA team?
I'm biased, so I'm gonna say yes.
Okay,
I mean,
what
I think-
All NBA team?
If everyone was healthy, I would say second or third. Or third.
I would put him on third. I would put him on
Maybe.
third.
Okay, third. The
Third
way
is
that it's
everybody's
the way it's going right now, he would probably be second.
I'm not
Without
mad
a
at that.
doubt.
I'm
Okay.
not mad at that
So
because
if-
you have the context of X, Y, and Z was hurt. I mean, I understand context of how seasons work and how shit plays out. So I mean, it doesn't piss me off or it doesn't seem like a problem. Also, in the past, before the 65 game rule, we still had situations or instances where it was asterisks when it came to awards. It was situations like this before this rule. So I'm not understanding. Again, I'm not understanding the bitch in the moaning.
I think not having 3 of the top 5 players be represented is a much bigger problem than I think y'all are claiming it's out to be.
I mean, it is a problem, but
Why,
also
though, when you know
play
they're
games.
better.
Play your games.
Okay, so if we know they're better, just put them on the team. Then what are we talking
Okay,
about?
so let's just do away with it. Let's just say
But then where's the line?
exactly where's the line?
It's up to the discretion of the voter. Why take that out of the voter's decision? Leave it up to them.
It's always been
voters
up
are
to the
idiots.
voter.
Let's about the voters and how they.
The man said because the voters are idiots.
Exactly.
You
That's
don't
what
know
I'm
those.
saying.
Y'all got you don't want
Listen,
Y'all have
it's
to
about taking the
complain.
lesser of 2 evils, right? At the end of the day, despite what we think about what the voters and how they value stuff, right? At the end of the day, it's much of an easier scale. It's much better, honestly, to go off of this other than this 65 game rule, because at the end of the day, they would most likely put a Jokic. They would most likely put a Wemby. They will put them in there mainly because they have at least some level of understanding of, okay, this guy played for a certain amount of time, right? When we take that out, now we're going to talk. I keep thinking Drewski. What is it? Dusky? Delsky? Delsky brought up Kobe not winning the MVP, right? How many times is, let's say Jokic is hurt back-to-back seasons, missing 20 games. Bro, he's missing 2 All-NBAs in his accolades. How many people over time is going to be like, this guy wasn't that good. He only has 3 All-NBA
That's
teams. He's
you
not really
bringing
like
it
that.
back full circle to my point.
Bro, but that's
Why do
always
you
going to be
need
the
that to explain to the
that's
next
gonna-
person
but
who's
Delsky-
a better player?
But
that's
also
the
that's
issue
that's
with
the
or without
backbone
it.
of every.
Bro, that's so idealistic to who you are. Bro, 30, 40, 50 years from now, people are not going to know the same way that we don't know what was going on 30, 40, 50 years ago. So there needs to be some indicator and some capsulation of what happened in real time for the people who are not here in real time.
And you're gonna get that season by season.
You're not
If
going
you
to
didn't- if
get
you-
that. No, you're not.
They're
No,
not going to
you're
have that in
Somebody
the future.
born,
Whoa,
somebody,
wait, wait,
like
okay,
somebody
wait,
born,
wait, wait,
somebody
wait,
born
wait, wait,
today,
wait, come on,
somebody
come on,
born
come on, come on,
today
come on,
is
wait,
not
wait,
going to
wait,
get
wait,
that
wait,
20
wait,
years
wait.
from
To-
now. They're
To
not.
To Delsky's point, though, to Delsky's point, because the reason why he said it on a year-to-year basis is because if we're let's say we're talking about Nikola Jokic, and Nikola Jokic doesn't make All NBA this one season, right? If we look at Nikola Jokic's resume as a whole and in totality, and we see that he has MVPs in 21, 22, won a chip in 23, Finals MVP, had another all-time great season in 24, 25. If you are now making a determination that Nikola Jokic isn't an all-time great because he missed one All-NBA team
That's not
in
the point.
2026,
Okay, all right, fine.
Like
Patrick Ewing only has 3 all-defensive teams. He has no DPOY. There's like very little indications that Patrick Ewing is one of the better defensive players in NBA history. But the reason why he doesn't have that isn't because he's not an all-time great defender. It's because of the era that he played in, where there is restrictions on how many sensors are going to be selected. And so from there, you can then draw conclusions that maybe he's not as good as XYZ player because of he doesn't have as many accolades as someone else has because we weren't there to witness it. That is a false representation of who Patrick Ewing was as a player. That's not
We
an
agree,
accurate
Lo.
representation.
We
They
agree,
don't
Lo,
agree.
but hold on. We agree on your point, but it's your job as a historian and knower of the game why their context and that matters,
But
and
Ty-
putting Ewing in those upper
you're
echelon
right.
defenders.
Ty, you're
So
right.
any casual can count accolades and say this player is not this player is not that, but we call those people casuals.
Ty, but
Magic
listen, you're
Johnson
right.
won a Finals MVP.
At the end of the
because
day,
fucking Kareem
this
was
is why I
hurt
say
more than
I
him.
just don't understand why this is even a point. That's gonna be needed, and that's gonna be an issue no matter what.
Right.
That will always forever be an issue. So why have a rule, a bogus rule, which I'm pretty sure you guys all agree to? You just harping on this point. Well, a bogus rule that
I don't
means
think it's a
absolutely
bogus.
nothing
Because
no
you
matter
forget-
what.
Because how do
no
you
matter what,
counteract?
everyone,
How do you
no
counteract?
matter
Right,
what,
because
everyone
you
is gonna
forgetting how
have
we
to
get
look
to that
back into
point,
it.
Dub. Why are we
I
here?
have a question.
Everyone is always going to have to get back to that of, all right, you need to do the research yourself, right? So
Why
are we here, Doug?
Why make it more difficult for them to do the research by saying, well, this season, why make it more
Because
difficult?
the NBA had a problem, Lo.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, they overreacted to a problem for 3 to 4 players in a 2-year stretch where a bunch of old niggas got hurt. It really wasn't that big of a problem.
You don't think low management?
No,
you don't think
I think their bigger problem is that they kept promoting niggas that they should stop fucking promoting. They didn't need
Okay.
to promote Embiid. They didn't need to promote Kawhi. They
Embiid
didn't
was
need
one
to
of the
promote.
3
No, I
best
don't
players
agree
in
with
the
that.
world. You
That
talking
makes
about
zero
Embiid.
No,
sense. That makes zero sense,
if Embiid kept getting injured, why do you keep promoting him?
Because he's one
He's
of the
one of the
best
best
players
niggas in
on
the
the
league.
planet.
If he's not playing
Yeah,
games,
but he's not playing though.
if he's
I
not
don't
playing
understand
games,
this point.
why would you
not
keep
playing.
promoting a product if a nigga's
Well,
not
if they're
playing?
not playing games, why would you give them the all NBAs, nigga?
He's not going to.
That's promoting niggas, giving them all NBAs when they're not playing. That's promoting them.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's
They're just
awarding-
better than all those other guys. That's
He's just awarding them.
Bro, y'all
Well, you can't have it
Yeah,
both
it's
ways.
awarding
You
them
can't
for the
say
season,
don't
but-
promote him when he's
Y'all
the.
don't
You
care
can't say
about
don't
It's
promote
awarding
him when he's the best, one of the
It's
best
awarding
centers in the
them.
NBA, and then say, well, don't give him award or
You gotta
give him
say,
awards.
You gotta say,
Which one
you
is
gotta
it?
say one of the. You have to say
Promotion
one of the
is
best
more
centers in
for-
the NBA.
Promotion is more for entertainment. Getting an All NBA should be an accurate depiction of who's just better that season. It doesn't matter about how entertaining you are. It's just who is better. So I'm not going to promote a team when their best player isn't going to be available. I'm not going to promote Zion in them. I'm not going to promote Kawhi in them. That doesn't take away from the fact that potentially Kawhi may still be better than someone else, but if he's not playing the games that I need for him to be promoted to the rest of the world, I'm not going to promote him. That was a much bigger problem when there were several other players that weren't playing basketball games that should have been promoted.
Yeah, nobody got him in his top 10 up here. But nobody got him in the top 10. Get the fuck out of here.
The reason why this argument for you is very disingenuous is because we have to take into account the context around the NBA from the early 2020s or late teens on. The reason why you're trying to promote Joel Embiid and you're trying to promote Zion Williamson is because LeBron's getting old, Steph Curry's getting old, Kevin Durant's getting old, and they are the faces of the league. You're trying to transition to other faces, and you would like the transition to be to the best players in the world. Embiid at that time in the 2020s was clearly one of the, hands down, one of the 3 best players in the world. Yes, you would like to try to transition to him. When you talk about Zion Williamson had been one of the most hyped prospects in years and already had tons of publicity. Damn, I can't even talk. Pub, right? And he enters the league, and his first game in the league did crazy numbers his rookie game. Why? Because he was already Zion Williamson. So yes, you would like for Zion to be one of the faces that carried you past and out of the Steph Curry LeBron era.
Bingo. You would like to, but if he's not playing the games, then you need to pivot, bro.
But
then you enact a rule.
That was the problem. They didn't pivot.
Especially when there's other players. It's not like because not giving Shea and them a Christmas game last year was fucking stupid. That is just dumb.
Crazy.
That's just
Hey,
dumb.
yo, shout out to Real Talk, man.
It's not as if like there's not like a bunch of other players to pivot into, and we've done this throughout multiple times in NBA history. That nigga David Stern didn't give a fuck how often Vince Carter put his hand in a fucking rim. Nigga, when LeBron and them came in, it's done, nigga. We're moving on. I don't give a fuck no more. I don't give a fuck about Ben. I don't give a fuck about Vince Carter or Tracy McGrady. We're moving on.
Yes, you
we're
can.
moving on.
Yes,
we're
you can.
moving on.
You can't force niggas like yes, you can.
He decided to
the
move
NBA
on.
can.
They moved on. They moved on quick.
The NBA can push who they want to push.
Yes.
If they want to push the button on you and make you a star or make you likable or make you marketable, they have the power to do that. They 100% can. And I was with Low at first. It's not so much about who they shouldn't have been pushing. Again, they should have pivoted. And I was saying this shit 2-3 years ago. There were so many players that should have been getting signed. There are so many players that should have been getting shown when they were younger. And people should have got adjusted to him. There was no way the nation first watched Paolo Banchero when he got to the playoffs. That was ridiculous. So many people saying they never seen him play until he got to the playoffs. And he was a number one pick. Paolo. When the Magic first made I'm saying at the time. I'm talking about last year or whenever he first made the playoffs. That shit.
No, he was in college. He was in college during COVID, so I don't think a lot of people were watching that. That's why they didn't see him.
But when you brought up the fact that they were moving on to LeBron and them, that supports the idea of trying to move on to. I even throw another name in there now that's injured all the time. Because they were moving in his direction too.
Ja Morant?
Ja Morant. It made sense to try to pivot to Ja. It made sense to try to pivot to Zion. It made sense trying to pivot to Lonzo Ball. All of that.
Niggas like them.
I'm not saying that you can't try them out for a year or two. I'm not saying that. But like, for example, last year, you deciding to do an arrival week. On arrival week, you're still trying to push Ja and Zion last year. Bro, Shea is not getting accurate representation. Cade is not getting accurate representation. The Rockets were not getting accurate representation. And they had already provided enough of evidence that they were going to be quality players and teams for the foreseeable future. Neither did Orlando. Why are we still pushing Zion and Ja comp last year when we, at that point, I agree with you. Their first, second, third year, okay, cool. But last year, we had already known it was fucking done with those niggas.
I mean, last year you think Zion and Ja were like getting put?
They were
last year.
Yes. Bro, they got sick.
That's
bro,
who the fans like.
Go look at how many national televised
I don't know about
games
Ja.
that
but
Zion got in contrast
They
to
got a good amount.
Paolo, Cade, and Houston. Go look at how many they were getting.
They did get a good amount.
They got
I'm
more.
not lying.
And I'll take it a step further. Another reason why sorry to cut you out, Dumbo. Another reason why I believe personally, I'm not saying it's the biggest reason, but part of the reason why the ratings are much better is because they're pushing niggas that actually show up, play basketball games, and are ascending instead of still trying the same old. Nigga, we're tired of watching LeBron and Curry match up with one another every fucking year.
How are you saying we're tired of that when that's always the highest rated game?
Exactly, bro. Like, how you can't?
It's always the highest rated game.
He can't. He's saying they're the highest because they're promoted though.
Because of casual.
Listen what I'm saying.
What.
Use the fanfare of people going to watch LeBron and Curry anyway, and use that to also then promote younger players. So instead of having LeBron and Curry go up against each other, and you're just using these ratings to have a fucking massive rating fest, have the ratings that LeBron fans are already going to give you, and use that to then prop up someone else that
is what they do. Like
they didn't do that last year.
I'm saying they're doing it. I know they do. This year because I know that
last year
one of the games they had Coop playing Golden State.
Yes,
I say they did it this year with Christmas.
Like this year they did this. Last year,
I mean, but they also had like that game where LeBron and them played against New Orleans to hype like the Zion thing when he first came out or whatever. Using the idea of trying to boost younger talent in a game with an already established name, that's not a new idea. That's not anything. I'm not saying it's not new. I'm not saying it's not new.
He's saying that they need to do more of that. They
do a better job of doing it. They have been
they harp on getting the bigger draw rather than actually spreading the draw to everybody else. That's what he's saying.
Well, I got a question real quick of games like the value. How do you measure the value of a game of an elite player. Like 40 games of Jokic, where's the line, Low? 40 games of Jokic, 35 games makes it over like a good run of Trae Young games, over 45 games of Trae Young, over 30 games of Jokic. Like, where is the value? How do you measure that so easy?
It's up to you. It's up to you.
But you threw out the number like one less than the threshold, but like how far can Jokic be away from 65 games and still make the cut to you?
For me, it depends. It depends on who I am putting third team to have him over. Like if
Hey, put Trae Young on there and let me know.
Oh, nigga, if it's Trae
No, don't do Trae Young. Don't do Trae Young. Do somebody better than that.
Play 50 games. Like 50 games and be better than, in my opinion, better than.
Yeah,
Nah, but he can play 40. He can play 40
Then
games.
like 80 games of Trae Young. Okay.
Trae is playing this year. Yes.
Yeah, the way Trae is playing, do somebody like a Men Thompson or.
You can pick a better player. I'm just wondering like how valuable these elite players' games are versus these other guys that play way more games.
Like Denny is probably going to make an All NBA team this year. He's probably going to be the one where he's going to be one of the three that is going to benefit from these players not being available to play.
Who do you have missing for sure the All NBA team this year? By the way, because I disagree with
Wemby, Giannis, and Jokic. I think will miss.
Do you not think he's putting up good enough numbers to be a third teamer though?
Huh?
In all honesty, do you not think his numbers are good enough to justify being a third team All NBA player though?
They are
for this year. No,
for this year. This year, you don't think his numbers are good enough to be a third team All NBA player, given the injuries or given whatever? Given
he can't qualify for third team.
If you're saying given the injuries, yes. But if we're also acknowledging that All NBA is a relative award, it's on a year-to-year basis. And so this year, the threshold is so fucking high that the only way that even though someone who's averaging 25, 7, and 7 can make it is if someone who's averaging a 30-point triple-double is out, then yes, by that standard, yes. But it's relative. So even if Jokic only plays 60 games and Denny plays 70, the 60 games from Jokic, in my opinion, would still be more valuable and thus should.
That's not Damo's point. Damo's point is let's include Jokic and Giannis and Wemby. All of them are eligible. They can make first team, right? They can make first team. It's still 10 more names that have to fill out second and third team. And so Damo's question is, okay, who right now would be the last pick for your third team All NBA right now? Include Wemby in them making first team.
It'd probably be JB. Okay, I can show you. If we were to say it, it'll be Shea first team. Shea, Jokic, Luka, Wemby, Giannis. That'll be the 5.
Luka
should be Ant, not Luka.
Okay, that's
right.
Steph, Ant, Maxey,
Cade.
And Mitchell would be the 10.
Yeah,
that'll be the 10.
Okay.
Regardless if y'all agree.
Who was the last one? I'm sorry.
Okay. So that still means that KD, Shane Goon, Jaylen Brown, Jalen Brunson I've not named them yet. That still means that Jamal Murray, I have not named yet. That still means
that's the third team. So that's the third team.
Yeah.
No. I'm just saying these are names. I'm saying these are the names.
Okay, we're gonna see
it's more than 5. Right. It's more than 5.
That's right outside.
What Tyson's saying is what I'm saying is there's like 7 to 8 people that you could really name off after we get done with the first 10 that would be in the conversation to make it.
That doesn't include Denny.
That thus means that someone is going to get left off. The reason why Denny or Jamal or whoever y'all feel uncomfortable with the name I'm naming off is going to make it is because of them. So for this year alone, yes, 25, 7, and 7 is amazing in any normal circumstances. But when the bar is set so fucking high that the first 5 to 7 names off rip are already niggas that are just monsters. They're just putting up crazy numbers, and we all believe universally that means half of the fucking list that we're talking about is already done. It's already done. Half of it is already fucking done.
Okay.
It's already done. So that means by default, the next 7 to 8 is going to be determined based off of not who's just playing better, but just because of the first 7, 3 or 4 of them are not going to play enough games.
And so my question to you though, to get back to
I
what
don't think that
Damo was
answers my
saying,
question.
to get back to what Damo was saying, you're saying that Denny could not have an argument against like an Alfred Sengun to make third team All NBA.
Do you think Şengün? I don't even think Şengün is a lot to make it though. I think.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's our point. The point is that they're okay. Let me ask you this question and to make it more plain. Do you think there are more than 15 players playing on an All NBA?
Right. That's their point.
So that's Damo's point. Damo is saying that yes, Denny, whether Wemby and them make that first team or not, Denny is still playing to a level to suggest that he is still good enough to make a third team All NBA. That's his
now, if he makes a second or first team, then I'm with you, Lo. This is ridiculous because he's getting bumped and pushed up because of this rule. But if because of this rule, you have someone like
Denny, you think Şengün is going to make a second team? You already said yes. You think he could?
Yeah, I think he could.
Honestly,
I'm biased.
Honestly,
I don't think he's second team worthy. No.
But
and listen,
but
I have to go real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I have to go. But before I go, I want to say, honestly, listen, this is what's going to happen. Like, what's going to happen, and maybe it can happen this year. Screw the All NBAs. We're going to have two players playing an all-time NBA MVP level. Watch those two players in the future miss 20 games, and then they don't qualify for the MVP. So then it's going to go to the third guy. Let's say if that happens to Shea and Jokic right now, then Luka's gonna win an MVP. I promise you, real talk gonna throw a riot. I promise you that's what's.
Well,
he
might.
Luka wins the MVP.
Yeah,
He might fuck with Luka.
I promise you. But listen. Honestly, that's what's gonna happen if this continues in about 10 and within the next 10 years. That's exactly what's gonna happen, and then they're gonna just rule and take it off because it's just bogus in my opinion, right? That's exactly what's gonna happen. It's not about the All NBAs. Watch the MVP actually get affected, and then they'll finally take it out. That's exactly what's gonna happen. But I gotta go.
Oh no! The league leader in scoring won the MVP.
That's right there. That's way. When we were doing the All NBA selections, that's how he was going to basically map out. Now, again, some of these names you can move around, but if you're not secure enough that KD or Şengün should make a second team, more than likely that's probably what's going to end up happening. That is what's probably going to end up happening.
Can I ask? Last year, what players were affected by the rule that should have made an All NBA team that didn't? Last season.
I gotta go back and see. I don't know if there was.
I'm just asking.
People end up just forcing themselves to play.
I'm asking because I went and looked at the third team All NBA last year. K was third team last year. K made third team with what 26, 9, and 5.
Okay.
I don't think that's too far off from what Denny's averaging 25, 7, and 6.
7
and 7. Again. Numbers aren't too far off. Those sound like third team numbers. My thing with Denny, again, as long as the player that's making the third team or making these teams because of it is justifiable, as long as it's a player that's actually having a better season or having one of the top 15 seasons that year, I don't think this is so bad of a rule, especially now with progressing. We're in an offensive era. Offense is getting better. There's more scoring. Is more offensively driven. It's just going to look more justifiable. Now I know that's kind of a.
Do you like Jamal Murray making it?
I'm a hater. Fuck Jamal Murray. Come on,
man. You say ill.
Yes. I'm biased. I'm biased. Okay. That's coming from bias. I'm not gonna lie to you. Jamal Murray for offense can be having a great year, and I'm gonna say ill.
Okay, so
I don't think too like. Go ahead.
Should Scotty make it? Should Scotty Barnes make it?
Possibly because of defense.
I wouldn't be mad. If he made it, I will understand why.
I'm looking at the list that you have right now: Steph, Cade, Shea, and Maxey. Number one, I think Luka qualifies. So I'm adding Luka to this list.
Okay, right. So let's bump Luka. Let's bump. Who you gonna bump?
Maxey. Bump Maxey down.
Maxey gonna bump down. So then Luka. Okay, so then who gets bumped down from the second team?
Who gets bumped down from second team? Sengun.
Yeah, Şengün gets bumped down to third. Who gets bumped down out of the? Who's out now?
Probably Murray.
Jalen.
That's Duren, right?
No, Jalen Johnson.
Oh,
Get him out.
yeah, he
I
been
was just
hooping.
going to mention Jalen Johnson.
He's been going crazy.
Kick him
I say,
out.
Merc.
Get
How many
Jalen.
games has Jalen Johnson played so far?
Jalen or Denny can go.
Jalen has been really good this year.
How many games has he played so far, Jalen Johnson?
Or Laurie Martin.
Both of the games. He
I'm
played
about
a
to say
lot.
my pick would be Laurie. I'd have said Laurie.
Drop Laurie.
So Laurie Markin is out.
Yeah.
Where's Laurie Marketing on there? I don't even see it.
And so,
oh, there you go.
if-
Okay. Yeah.
If the
Laurie was
first team
balling
is
to start
Steph,
off
Luka, Cade, Shea, and second team is KD, Brown, Brunson, Mitchell, Maxey, and then
Maxey.
third team is Barnes, Jalen,
Sengun.
Denny, Sengun, and Murray. That's not a. These
I'm
aren't
not
bad. These aren't bad.
No one's not saying that it's going to be a bad team. We're just saying that it's not an accurate representation of who the top 15 players are for that season. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
I
But
mean,
it
it
never
would be
is.
outside of what
It never is.
I'm about to say, how accurate is that in given an NBA history? How accurate is
Yeah,
the?
it's typically pretty accurate.
For most NBA history, the reason why it's not accurate is because another rule that I'm happy they changed was the position rule, where because again going back to Patrick Ewing, he's not making all NBA selections or all defensive teams, not because he's not good, but because he has to go up against David Robinson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Hakeem. But he is very clearly one of the top 15 players and one of the top 10 defenders in the league. So that's the reason why it wasn't accurate then. But if we were to just change it positionless, like the way we have it now, then it would be far more accurate. It would be way more accurate if it's positionless.
But my question is,
I
agree with Low on that. That's a fair point.
My question is, why do you want to talk to people who can't understand that, who didn't know that? Like you're talking basketball with people who just only telling you who made all NBA, who made all defense, and
Who are the top 15 players in 1972? You don't know because you weren't there because it was how long ago it was. At some point, this isn't for me having a conversation with a bunch of other people. That's not what this is for. This is supposed to be a representation of history, not because of what happened in 2025, but because of what's going to happen in 2055. So 30 years from now, there's not going to be a proper accurate representation of what's going on, the same way that you and I cannot accurately depict and have nuance about who are the top 15 players in 1972 or 68 or 55. We don't know that.
Are we acting like all NBA is the only way that we can get to that conclusion?
But it could be a really great.
Go do the reason.
How did World War II start? And the reason why comparing, the reason why comparing the us looking at prior generations like being because truth be told, all we can do really is box score watch and accolade watch for these players that played in the 50s and the 60s and most of the 70s, to be quite honest with you. However, to Delsky's point, though, moving forward, these games are available, right? So for the technology advancing, right? It's not like for us, there are literally no Wilt Chamberlain games available to watch, or very little, right? There are very few George Mikan games to watch for real. You know what I'm saying? But you'll be able to watch Nikola Jokic in 2025.
Fact.
And when you're in the year 2050,
how many games of LeBron can you watch in 2016 right now?
2,
if you want,
and that's the Christmas game.
A lot actually.
You can watch a lot.
Well, you got the finals.
You can watch most of the playoffs.
I'm about to say you can watch most of the playoffs.
Are you talking about regular season
We're
games?
talking about regular season award. How
Oh,
many
Christmas.
regular season games of LeBron in 2016 can you watch right now?
Christmas, and maybe one other.
You can watch a Warrior game, a Thunder game,
right? Christmas, right?
I'm about to say like the marquee game.
Start cutting off League Pass because they can't hold all that much fucking.
Right.
Yo, I just looked up.
Whatever YouTube is.
So what were you saying?
Whatever YouTube is in 2055, you'll be able to go watch LeBron if you want to.
Because they might upload them. They might upload them.
That's true too. You don't know the technology. What would the technology be in 2055? So that you might not be able to see games. You might be able to see. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to see more games.
Although the Zesties will keep it up for us.
But will they watch them though? Because right.
Or we could just do our due diligence and give people a tool to use to determine who are the top 15. We could just do that.
So all NBA, all NBA is the end all be all. To who's the best player?
It can be, but all these new rules and stipulations is restricting it from being that, though.
So then we do care about the accolades.
Yeah.
Correct.
What I'm saying is we can provide the value to accolades by giving the accurate representation of what occurred. But us deciding purposely not to do that is crazy.
But it
all
would be
NBA
us.
awards
It would be the voters. Wait. But this is why that doesn't really make sense to me from you saying that, because you're saying let's put the onus back on the voters in totality when you've already said that the reason why you don't like all NBA teams is because it's not always an accurate depiction based off the rules and the standards that they've already been going off that you already disagree with.
I'm saying there's been rule change recently, such as the positionless rule, that has gotten us closer to using that as a litmus test to determine who's better. Us going away from getting to what I believe is an ideal situation does not make any sense. We're moving further back from the point that I think we should be getting to. That's what I'm saying.
I just looked up a stat. I just looked up a stat.
What would advances? What is the next change that advances then?
Bro, just don't remove the 65 game rule. Let there be an accurate.
No, that's not true, Lo. That's not true, Lo. You're being disingenuous.
Advances past the 65 game. I'm not.
Because it was already, to Real Talk's point, it was already complaints about who's voting, why are they voting for these people? Are their pockets being lined? So because the money is too, involved for. Should we take away also that these awards go to max contracts? Should we take that away too?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. That too.
I mean,
that should be the only reason. That should be the only reason that people.
I think they need to shrink the voter pool too. I don't think that it should be 100 people voting for it. I think because I don't think there's 100 people, especially the ones who are voting, are not informed enough to actually talk about what they're talking about. I think there should be a very strict regulation of who is or is not voting for it. And so instead of 100, if it's only 50, or instead of 50, it's only 30, regardless of what it needs to be. But it does. I think 100 is too many people. So I think it does need to be removed from the contract situation. I think they should continue with making it public, and I don't think there should be 100 people. I think there should be a smaller, finite group of people. Kendrick Perkins should not be voting for that award.
Yeah, I just looked up the stat right about the vote.
I think it should be a bigger group.
I just looked up the stat about
more people.
I think it should be a bigger group.
Oh, more people.
More people.
I know about that.
Yes.
I know about that.
I just looked up the stat.
What about similar to the All-Star vote where they let fans vote?
Seven people vote? We're like, what are we doing?
I just said 50.
I'm saying
that's true too, though, Lo. Now you're giving less people a whole bunch of power.
The better it's going to be.
Right.
But the more people you involve in the conversation, the more likely you're going to get.
It's pros and cons.
Exactly.
For sure.
Yeah, it'll be heavily skewed.
If it's not,
it'll be heavily skewed.
Let everybody use their own narrative.
That's the All-Star weekend vote, right?
But I think
like we don't want any criteria, so just let everybody. Just let the players vote.
Wait.
I want if anything, if there's going to be no
every player in
criteria,
the NBA,
and it's just going to be, I think
for the players to vote
for the awards. The players should vote for the awards.
Yeah,
wasn't it like that? Like once upon a time, the players.
And you know,
it's not going to be a criteria.
And you know what's so crazy? They may have had a better representation because they were saying, who cares if Kareem
not making the playoffs?
Yeah.
He's the best player in the world.
Oh, in the 70s,
the players can vote for the.
So that's fine, and I'm fine with that. But my end goal.
That's nasty too, though, bro.
I personally don't think so. I personally don't think so.
But it gives you. I think
if the players believe,
it's always going to be politics. Is my point. Like it's always when
I hear what you're saying.
Right.
If the players' representation of what the MVP award was at that time, the best player in the league, and they said, I don't care if Kareem did not make the playoffs or not, he is the best player in the league. And if that's how we visualize and view the MVP, and like you're saying with the Kobe thing, it didn't matter if Kobe got the 7th seed and was knocked out in the first round. It does not matter.
He would have had that.
But wait.
He is the best player in the league. And so
I understand what you're
He definitely
saying.
would have had that over Nash.
No, but again, the MVP award is not the best player in the league. So now you're getting a baller. Hold on, real quick.
But in the 70s,
Now let me finish real quick.
I'm about to say
Now you're
Flavor
getting
Voting
a
was.
baller's interpretation of the award. That's not necessarily what we like. We see people all the time on these podcasts say outlandish shit because they're looking
Yeah.
at it from a baller's perspective. You know what I'm saying?
Why
Oh,
they
well,
wrote
that nigga
you
had
right?
this and
Why
that,
they
and
wrote
he
you
couldn't
right?
be stopped. They looking at you. They looking at it
That's
from a
right.
certain perspective that fans
Yeah.
and voters not necessarily looking at it from. So that to me is not necessarily a fair depiction of who's the MVP. Maybe the best player. You know
Tyson,
that might be a better point.
I think a player would respond to you by saying the best player is the most valuable player.
And what I'm saying.
No, well, that's
I
not.
think it should
I don't
be.
look at it like
I think
that.
it should. I think it should be.
I don't look at it like that.
What I'm saying is that our interpretation of what the MVP is based off of the last 30, 40 years of media voting. And what I'm saying is if we just gave it to the players, then we all would have grown with the interpretation
have
of
a
the
new
MVP.
interpretation.
Yeah, the interpretation of MVP just would have been the best player in the league, regardless if he made the playoffs or he didn't make the playoffs or he was a number 1 seed or the 8th seed. The interpretation that we all would have grown up with would have been MVP equals the best player in the league, and the
Okay.
players are what you call it. The reason why we view it differently now is because the media got involved and they had their own spinning interpretation. Now we can agree or disagree on what it is or isn't.
Got you.
The only thing I want from this is a clear understanding of what the fuck these things are. And so if the MVP meant best player in the league, yeah, you're right. I don't care who makes the playoff. If they think that Kobe is the best player in the league, then that's just what the fuck it is. So then 30, 40, 50, 60 years later, we can go back and say, hey, even though the footage may not be as readily as available as it was back then, I know for a fact who was the best player in the league, and it was Kobe Bryant. I know for a fact what I can go back and go to. There's something for me to go to. I know for a fact who are the top 15 players in the league this season because there's something for me to go back to. Now, what we have and what we've had is that, well, I don't know who the best player is. All I know is there's this misunderstanding between valuable and who's better and what it actually means. And so now it's a bunch of bullshit. I don't actually know who the top 15 player is because I have to take into consideration games played in position and who's voting. I don't know who's the best defender because on the DPOY and all defensive team, there's 2 different sections of people voting for these things. It's just bullshit. It's a bunch of shit. And that's why it gets me to this shit doesn't matter. But it could matter if there is a unified understanding of what these things mean. And the more regulations that you put into this, without there just being an understanding of how we're going to interpret things, makes it more difficult for us to understand what exactly does this mean. Because
sounds like robots and AI need to be judging this shit, man, not human beings, man.
Absolutely.
That's the way it sounds like.
Tyson,
That's the way it
feels like. For me personally, Tyson, if the view of these awards and stuff
let ChatGPT do the voting.
If the view of these awards and stuff are going to be viewed skewed anyway via either the media voting form or the players voting form, I'm going to say I would rather the players make some mistakes and whatnot because they're the actual ones.
They play against these guys.
And these other people who are going off whatever they're going off of.
No, that's fair. That's fair. It's gonna right, but mistakes are gonna be made. People are gonna complain. People are gonna have their gripes about it. Obviously, you're not gonna please everybody. But I mean, that would be. I feel I agree with you. It would be more like a standard, like, okay, these guys are voting, these are the players in the NBA, and you just got to live with it, and that be the standard. I agree with Lowe's point that would just be more concise, I guess. Even though it would be flaws to it as well, but it would be better than what they're doing now. I do agree. But I would be still complaining. I'll still be on panels like, "What? How the hell they vote?" So you know what I'm saying? We would still be having an issue with it.
We would still be discussing, but I
agree.
You'll also run into seasons because then it's like, well, just because you're the best player doesn't mean you're playing the best this year, and right? Because what if like in 2015 LeBron still wins MVP when we know he's not playing the, you know what I'm saying? So
Right, because of the
there'll be
respect he
stuff
has from
like
the players
that.
or
There
whatever.
will be stuff
Yeah.
like that, but I would still rather
I'd rather that.
I rather
Right,
that
I get your
Yeah.
point. I get your point.
than doing what we
Especially
doing.
if we then make the results available, and then we can even tell, hey, 65 voted this way, 45. So it may not even been
Yeah.
as clear cut, but at least I understand
Yeah.
it's clear cut to what though. What exactly are we? What is the end result that what we're getting to? And
Right.
I rather
Yeah.
that be clear and then have an interpretation of what that is, what the intent is, rather
Right.
than us to kind of
Yeah.
just keep adjusting, because
Right.
effectively with this all what we're going to have to do, not only for this but what we've had to do throughout the course of NBA history, is just a bunch of either deep dives or us having to re-educate a bunch of people about things that in all honesty it's avoidable.
So real
You don't
quick, in
have to
in
do it.
in football, right? They have the top 100 based off player vote, right? The top
They
100
do do
players
that.
based
I
off
don't
players.
know why the NBA doesn't do that. The
Yeah,
NBA
the
should.
NBA
That
should
would be a
definitely
great
do
thing for the
Yeah.
NBA to have, even if we kept the MVP
Mhm.
as it is now. That would be a
Yep.
great to see how those line up and see how those measure up. And you can even you can even try that for a period of 5 years to see if that was something you would want to take go back to a player vote to see how that lines up, to see how fans gauge it, and and they should do that every year just to have a list
Mhm.
out there to see how it measures up, to see how we look at it,
What would be interesting as
and the
well
type of agreements we have.
would be like if you went back in time and looked at the 65 game threshold and then looked at how many all NBA and MVP players would not have made it. For example, like a Bill Walton who played like 50 games and won MVP. I don't know if that's happened many times in NBA history, so it's like, I don't think that that's something that is a
But it
huge
I also
deal.
think
And that's why,
that we get. I think that the problem is being like overblown, in my opinion, because I do think like if you go back in the history of MVPs, I mean, how many MVPs haven't played 65 games anyway?
exactly. I wouldn't say many.
So it's like,
To me, it's
Well,
not
they were
about
playing more games back there though, too, though.
I want to be clear. It's not necessarily about who's winning it, rather than what exactly it represents, and then people are voting because of that representation. So for example, Shea could still have won the award regardless, though.
mhm.
But if I didn't look at the voting and then I see who's following up, there should be some representation of, okay, even if you think that Shea was the best, then Jokic is the second best, and Giannis is the third, et cetera, et cetera.
Mhm.
But now that won't be there. The same way when I'm going back through NBA history and I'm
That's
seeing
true.
Jermaine O'Neal's name pop up on MVP races, like, okay, I don't like now. Now I don't even know.
Oh,
now,
he's
now,
nice.
now,
Yeah.
when Jermaine O'Neal's name pops up higher than other people that I know is better, it then also puts into question what the fuck the award itself even meant in the first place.
Why
Oh, so
Jamel
you
and
can
him
boost
taking
the
crazy,
value
bro?
in one individual season to like a way higher level than someone else's perceived perception of like their value. That's
But
interesting.
if the value of what they thought, whatever they thought an MVP quote unquote was, is going to change, and that's what I'm saying, that because there is no there's no definition of what a
Yeah.
MVP, all NBA, all defensive team, because even in most improved is even fucking worse, because there's no actual definition to these things. Now when they go vote, it puts into question everything, even the person who wins it. Because if you're telling me in your mind, when you heard MVP, you thought, well, Jermaine O'Neal should be second on this MVP list, then that makes me think, well, what the fuck do you even think MVP means anyway?
But to Drago's point in the chat, and I'm actually going
I gotta
to
go
go
soon.
ahead. Yeah. I'm finna wind down. Shout out to the 640 still here. Make sure that you sub up to the channel. We're trying to get to 5K. We're trying to get to our goal 5K subscribers. So make sure you sub up. Make sure you like the stream, and make sure that you turn that notification bell on. And we actually just dropped a video. Make sure you go check that out as well. But oh brother. As far as what Drago is saying in the chat, Drago is like the person who is interested in who's second, third, fourth, and fifth in MVP voting, and not just who won the award, would also be one interested in like
All NBA selection.
but no, it's like they'll be intensive enough to know the rule also behind it, right? Like the casual, this is what I'm saying. Like the casual who's just going back and seeing, oh, who won MVP, is just going to be looking at who won MVP. If you're an interested enough fan to want to know not only who won MVP, but who was second, third, fourth, fifth, then you're also probably going to be take the initiative to also know, well, also the reason why these names are here instead of maybe somebody else expecting like a Jokic or somebody is because of the 65 game rule. You see what I'm saying? Like if you're just going back looking at the winner, then you're just going back.
Potentially, yes.
That's what I was saying from the beginning, man.
Potentially.
But all right to everybody on stage. I appreciate y'all. This was a great episode. Shout out to Tyson, Delsky, Olo, Shay, all of y'all, everybody that came up, Dub, of course, Damo.
Right quick, Lo, you gotta pull up to the TikTok takeover, man, on TikTok.
And man, I'll be busy, man. It's
FIF, man. We be looking for you, man.
I'm busy, man. It's a bunch of stuff. Also,
I feel you a celebrity now.
Go okay. Just tell Lamont to stop using ChatGPT because that's
we gonna be talking about you the next episode. All right, real talk. Appreciate you, man.
All right, I need to start pulling up over there to them FIF streets. You know what I'm saying? See what they talking about over there. But yeah, really good episode. I think we did come basically to a conclusion that let the players vote. I guess that was something we all agreed on towards the end there. I think it was a great conversation.
And then I was right too.
No, I was definitely right. But you make
you have Giannis in your top 10, top 3 actually. Okay.
That's not an all NBA team. Hypocritical. For the 15,000th time. That's not an all NBA team. But yes, I appreciate Lo for joining up. Lo, if you want to tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me on Legend of Winning on Twitter or the Low Posts or Low Lights on YouTube, or also Legend of Winning on Twitch. I do stream on Twitch now because playback went went in the gutter. So
yeah, I'm waiting on. I'll talk to you about that after. But yeah, for me personally, as far as the game since playback, we be live here on YouTube, and we also have a watch along party in Discord. All you have to do is become a YouTube member to join the watch along. So that's what we're doing. And again, we do have a new video out, and we might stream tonight. I'm not sure. Maybe not though.
Tomorrow is the. I'm not tomorrow. What am I saying? Sunday's a Laker game.
Tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow's a Laker game. Yeah. So definitely be on tomorrow, but probably not tonight though. But yeah. Appreciate y'all pulling up again. Make sure that you like the stream on your way out, sub to the channel on your way out. And until next time, it's been real. Deuces, man.